Rick Watson's got the mic. He's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as the valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got a spark. Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play.
Big Dawg Pop rolling along here. How are you? Episode number 3. We've been sending out invitations here. If you want to join the program, hit me up on the
Let the games begin. Big Dog Sports.
Press the door text line 391-0788, or you can hit me up in the chat room. Sponsored by McClellan Chiropractor. We're going to talk about all sorts of stuff, whatever it might be. I am making sure here that I think I'm caught up. Anyway, as people jump in, we'll throw them on and we'll rock and roll. Going to have fun here on a Thursday. Happy pre-4th of July weekend. America turns 250 years old. How about that? 250.
Oh my. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
So good stuff. Good stuff all the way around. Hard to believe. And this is hard to believe. It's the 3rd episode of Big Dawg Pop. So hopefully we'll continue to grow and we'll proceed accordingly here. This thing is very particular recently about sending emails. I tried to send them out before I went live. I've noticed it's kind of hooked into when I'm live. I'm getting there to you, DVP, right now. So hopefully you'll get that. There we go. There we go. I hope you got it. I hope you got it. Yeah. Oh, I got one more I have to send too here. Got to send Nate one. I see you, Coach. I'll get you in just a sec. And one more. Coach Elmo has requested to come on. David Mabry's going to be with us here in just a little bit. Dwight Vick. We got all sorts of things going on, man. This could be wow. Nate Wise, our former baseball guy. He's now a golfing guy. We're going to have him on. I'm going to send him he's going to be on tomorrow's show, by the way. And let's hope I got his right. All right. So that should be everyone in the interim. And anybody else who wants to jump on, please do so, because we can handle about 6 people here on the program. All right, there's Coach Mabry right there. What is going on, Coach? Oh, I see that beautiful green wave hat behind you. Look at that helmet. Beautiful. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Sweat my ass off like everybody else. But
I know, right? I know. At least today wasn't nearly as humid. Does that make sense? I mean, it was hot, but boy, we didn't have that just collapsing in your lungs humidity.
There was actually a tad. I went walking a little bit this afternoon, and there was actually a tad of a breeze. Of course, all it's blowing is hot air, but there was just a little bit. It just seemed like it wasn't quite as dead. Wasn't quite as dead as it was. So,
what's up? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it wasn't bad. What's up, DVP? How are you? How is it up your way? Now you're up in the Northeast.
I decided to cut the grass when it was 109 degrees out.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's it. It's bad. It's at one point it feel like in the town next to me was 111.
Wow. We got Arizona.
And I'm not too far, and we're not too far from the beach where I live, and it feel like was 109. No relief, but Plenty of traffic.
Everybody good here? Okay, making sure things are. I'm testing out chat right now, making sure everything's working. Yeah, I think we're okay. Everybody see everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're good. We're good. So, what we're going to start off today, gents. Well, first of all, what are you drinking, David? What do you got tonight? Are you beveraging?
I knew.
And now Coach is frozen. There we go. Oh, what in the world? Look at
That'd
that,
be
DVP. We got a
That's
jar.
Granny sweet tea.
a little bit of apple pie shine.
All right.
And
my dad,
when I say it, it's not the type you buy in an ABC store.
I understand. My dad wasn't a big drinker, but we grew up on the farm, and he kept moonshine in the barn away from Mom. So we would see him out there at the end of the day, and I remember my brother, I don't know how old I was. We walked over, he goes, we always thought Dad was drinking water. Come here, look at this. Smell. No. We just got to let it go. So what's the bet? What's your favorite? When did you first have moonshine? I'm always curious about. Dad said he had it when he was a teenager back in the day. You remember when you first sampled it?
Probably. Yeah, probably teenager. We had. I think I can tell tales now. Growing up in Christiansburg, we had sort of an alcohol supplier. Bootleg Bill.
Bootleg
Something
Bill.
just happened.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know what the hell that was. There we go.
And
Bootleg Bill. I like that.
Yeah, and we would go to him, and then he occasionally had some shine. And then when I went to Ferrum and would be walking in between classes and stuff and going to class, all of a sudden you'd hear these explosions. And I'm like, what in the hell was that? And then, cats that had been there a while, they were sitting there saying, oh, that's the revenuers are blowing up the stills. And I mean, all through the mountains, and it was nothing to hear them blowing them up.
I remember when I had my first experience with it.
Hey, what was that?
Our third baseman was a couple years behind me, Johnson City kid. We all went down there to his house. Matter of fact, it was the weekend that Notre Dame beat Florida State, and Florida State came back and still won the national championship because BC beat Notre Dame the following weekend. So Florida State got a pass on losing at Notre Dame and ended up winning the national championship with Charlie Ward. So we went camping cool. We went camping that Saturday night, and it was two things. One was the moonshine I had never had before in my life. It was about 12 of us at this cabin in the middle of nowhere, and all I could think about was Jason Voorhees. I refused to leave the house to go to the bathroom, and as soon as the sun came up at 5 o'clock, I hopped in my car and drove back to Radford. I was having a heart attack there at night between the moonshine and worrying about Jason Voorhees.
We got
when you came to Radford, where did you come from?
I'm sorry?
Where did you come from when you went to Radford?
Where I grew up in the Jersey Shore in New Jersey.
Okay.
But not that Jersey Shore. Not the one you see on TV. A little further north, Long Branch.
Okay, Long Branch. Okay. And so then you came down and went to Johnson City, and they showed you the Mountain Dew.
The Mountain Dew. Prometheus is drinking as well, guys.
It was soaked fruit. You ate the fruit. We wouldn't drink it straight. I said, you can't drink it straight up. You'll get knocked out. If we were eating, there was the fruit in it, like peaches and stuff like that. But it was awful.
Prometheus says, my first experience with clear was a trip to the ER sledding accident on an old school bus hood. Went out of control and hit a parked car. Wow. That's a nice introduction. He's drinking, by the way, on a Thursday. Awesome, Prometheus. Did you burn up today? Or were you outside today? Coach Elmo said he was going to jump on here, guys, here in a little bit. So I sent him the invite. So that'll be fun. Gee, I wonder if Coach Elmo's had any moonshine. He may have had it on the sideline.
Different rules back then.
I went through my old. I was going through some old yearbooks this morning, and I found my two Ferrum ones, and was looking through 78 and 79. 79 was Coach Elmo's first year at Ferrum.
Oh,
and
cool.
I was looking at the pictures of him and everything. I'd forgotten he was such a debonair young man at that point in time.
He was a debonair young man. He was. I'm going to send Mike Ashley an invite too. He won't join, but I'll send him one anyway.
He's a very busy man.
He is.
He's probably at some brewery where he's at drinking some weird IPA.
I'm going to tell him you're here, Denny. That'll entice him. He might join us. If you know what, when he has a few though, that he'd be more apt to join us than if he were sober. Don't you think?
There's a lot of things Mike's apt.
Well, we know
to do
Mike.
when
We can
he's
talk
not
about
sober.
Not just jump on a YouTube show. What's up, chat? Keep it coming, chat. Everybody, welcome. Subscribe if you're just stopping by for the first time. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. We're an everything talking point. Just no insults to anybody. Don't use any stupidity in the chat, or you'll be gone quicker than you join. Because I have that control. Good stuff. All right, so we're in July now, and we're getting kind of a dead period for everything. Are you hearing any rumblings at all, Coach Mabry, about is there somebody that's going to step up high school football-wise in our region, in our area, that's going to be really one of those teams that could be a state contender? Have you heard of anything? I know it's early. Maybe it's too early to hear anything.
Not really. The only thing I'm hearing or seeing, I reckon the team to watch is going to be Roanoke Catholic.
Yeah.
Just for the simple reason they seem to have had one of those stellar recruiting. So I have a feeling they're going to be loaded. But other than that, right now, no.
They got it rolling, don't they? I mean, they're not even shy about it anymore.
Well, they were.
Hey, Brian, what's going on, Brian? Thank you, Brian.
I think if I understand correct, they got the guy that was at North Cross, and if you remember, Greg Keys's son was playing for Blacksburg. Blacksburg played Giles, and Blacksburg thumped Giles. And if you stop and think, Giles won the rest of their games in the regular season that year, and Blacksburg thumped them. And they said Keys was just a beast on both sides of the ball. And then that Monday, he had the weekend, and then I heard that Monday he was in Roanoke practicing at North Cross. so now he's transferred from North Cross to Roanoke Catholic.
How much of that is Salem still doing, do you think? You think they're as rampant about it as they used to be? Or have they tightened it up, the recruiting aspect? I know they never talked about it but come on, we know what was going on at Salem all these years.
I do think I know this sounds bizarre, as toothless as they've been over the years, but I think the VHSL is really, really trying. The thing is, just like you've said a lot of times with the NCAA, of course, they let things get out of hand in the first place. But the thing with the VHSL is they're a lot like the NCAA. They're going to end up losing more court battles than they will win. But I do think I know the director. I worked for him for a few years, Ty Gafford, and I know he's going to try. I don't know what he's going to be doing. You know, I know the case in Lynchburg was pretty difficult as far as trying to get everything worked out, and it went before 2 different judges, I think, and all that. So all that's just going to be hard to, you know, but I do think they're trying, but I just don't know how much power they wield anymore. And the thing is, it's just like you say about the NCAA, you know, they're going to lose any court battle that they end up getting into.
Well, and I hate that because Coach Hahn was on the staff at Pulaski County. I think he's just kind of feels, you know, kind of hamstrung a little bit. He's not doing it anymore, I don't think, but
well, yeah, and the thing is, anything that's wrong with Virginia High School League sports, you know, the VHSL is going to take the criticism, they're going to take the hit and everything else. And you know, sometimes deserved, but more times than not, they just happen to be the person that's going to receive the heat. You know, they're the ones that's going to catch it. And you know, everybody talks about the playoff system. Well, that's coming from the regions. The regions set the playoffs as far as everything. The state sets up the semis, you know, in football, the semifinals and the finals. But the regions set up the playoff system as far as, you know, how many go and this and that. And there's a few little quirks in there. You know, you can say, well, don't add as many teams in the playoffs. Well, the problem you've got then is you've got somewhere in the middle of that playoff system, you're going to have a bye.
Right.
And that's, you know, that would be, especially at that point in time in the year, you won't find any coach that's going to want that.
Correct.
So it's not as easy a fix as a lot of people think it is. I think a lot of people just says, well, just don't put as many teams in. You know, real simple solution, just fix it like that. But then you run into that because the dates are set for the semifinals and the finals.
Exactly. What's up? Brian says he's a Glenver alum. Great seeing the run they've been on. Yeah, no doubt about it. One of the best coaches in our area. They've got it rolling, man. That's now a machine down there, just outside of Salem or inside of Salem, however you want to look at it. But yeah, go Glenver, go Highlanders. We love anybody, Denny, don't we? With the Highlander name, come on, man.
Highlander name.
Highlander name. By the way, Denny, we talked about this earlier. What the hell is wrong with baseball? Huh? Go ahead.
That's pretty broad.
What was it? Did you see the tweet?
Baseball?
Did you see the interview, or was a press con? I don't know. Jorge Posada gave.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask you about.
Baseball is unwatchable, and I retweeted it, and then Jeff Fry picked it up and agreed with me, and then because it's unwatchable. Okay, everybody's looking at a computer, and that's what they're figuring out a lineup. That's what they're figuring out when they're sitting this one and that one. I mean, who the hell? I almost said the word. Who the hell back in the day, in the early mid-'90s, was putting a batting war together based on somebody's damn OPS?
Correct. I don't know.
By last time I checked, this is what my comment was to somebody with that computer thing, was the Yankees used to be concerned about winning. All they're concerned about now is what's that computer is telling them and who to play.
Well, it's bad when
maybe Giancarlo could run into a fastball once every 26.6 at bats if we're lucky.
Yeah, maybe so.
Or look where Horowitz is with the Pirates. I just watched Ozuna in his last at bat, the game I was watching him play. He took 2 right down the middle for strike 2 and strike 3. He just walked away like no big deal.
They don't care. They're trying to hit home runs. That's what he said. Yeah. It's exactly what he said. David, did you ever coach baseball? You coached everything else.
After I retired, from football coaching and everything at Alta Vista before I came back in it at Narrows. My daughter, my youngest daughter, she was all-state volleyball and all-state basketball player. She tore her ACL during basketball season. Well, anyway, before that happened, a week before that happened, the softball coach came to me and said, "Why don't you be my assistant in softball?" And I said, "Why would I do that?" And he goes, "Well, you're going to be at all the games anyway. You might as well come and get paid. You'll be making more money than me because of your years, and it's based on percentage." And so I'm like, okay. So I did that. Well, my daughter tore her ACL, and of course, no watching my daughter. So the next year, they're playing in the state basketball tournament. She decides she's going to try and take a charge from Jada Boyd, who went on to play at NC State. Same knee, tore all the cartilage in it, had to have surgery. Well, there goes her junior year of softball.
Ouch.
And then her senior year, I said, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to go. I said, the softball stuff's not for me. You talk about a sport with parents that just, all of them have that, but softball, they're right on top of you and everything. But and I gave it up. My daughter finally got to play again after for the first time since her freshman year of softball. She had hit like 3 home runs in 2 games. Was like 8 for 12, something like that. And then they ended the season because of COVID. Her senior year. So, of course. But yeah, I know I made that into a real long story, but yeah, 2 years
that's good.
Softball.
Hey, Rick, I coached high school soccer 1 year up here in New Jersey.
I'm going to take the comments off. I'll keep an eye on them, but that way we can see everybody. There we go. Sorry, I couldn't see you. Oh, yeah, I can't. Gee, do you have any By the way, hey, Morris, I don't even have to set Morris up. Morris, when did you first have moonshine? Go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning.
Quick, what's your answer?
That tells you how much moonshine I had. Good morning. We got some moonshine when I was
there we go.
In my teenage years. A lot of stuff's happened there, as you guys might imagine from the other stories. But we got some from Franklin County somewhere. And I remember the guy dipped his finger to see if it's any good. And apparently if you light it, it makes a ring and will go all the way around your finger. And I said, damn, I didn't know that. And I know several people from Franklin County, which is known for moonshine.
It is.
Before we do anything else, Coach Mabry, I want you to know that I am coachable. I'm damn old. I'm really old. But I'm coachable. I want you to know that by this.
Hey, he got the head.
Run a damn ball.
I love it.
There you go.
Run a damn ball. Nothing more demoralizing to a defense than you're going to run the ball 3.5 yards every time, and ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
Where'd you find the hat? I mean, that was the most popular thing about the show last week. Was Coach
I
Mabry.
know it. And after I saw it, I thought Coach Mabry was wearing that. I said, I got to get me that ball cap. I'm going to wear it tomorrow playing golf. I ordered it on Amazon. 18 bucks, I think it was.
I've got another one. I can't find it. And it says, make some damn adjustments.
Well, I want to tell you that I'm still coachable and you can still coach. And just to show you that I'm an A+ student, this is not neat, but this is a 1 pour, and it is Glenfiddich 12-year single malt Scotch.
Oh, okay. Wow. Hey.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. By the way, the bash is coming together. Danny, you wish you could come down for the bash, July 18th. Come on, man.
What's a bash?
We're having the BDST bash at the NRV Super Bowl. We might actually do some bowling. Who knows? It's all on Morris. He's buying 5 drinks for everybody.
God, this is a moving target.
Yeah, July 18th. So, Coach Mabry, hopefully you can be there. It's going to be fun. I don't know. We're going to get a head count soon. So, I'm trying to have a head count next week. Yeah.
I'm going to try now. Morris has got a 6-drink limit on everybody?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It started at 2. The damn thing's moving up and down so quick. I guess I'll see when I get there.
Well, he's trying to entice more people to come. So, and then that number increases
Keeps
as it
going
goes.
up. Keeps going up.
Jim wasn't even happy about coming for a while, and she found out there's free drinks. And then I said, no, I texted Rick. I said, no, it's not free or open. I said, I'm going to give 2 drink tickets each. Well, you can't tell Jen that. If she knows that, she won't come. It's got to be open.
Jen, by the way, is really going to try. She won't be on the show tomorrow because she's traveling, but she did send me a text today. She goes, I really am going to try to make the 18th work. So don't think I'm just blowing you guys off. And I said, I'm not going to follow up that comment because I could take that in a lot of different directions now that I'm a freshly married man. But okay, thank you. Don't tell them that if you show up on the 18th.
Well, I tell you, I do need to, I think I mentioned to you, Rick, I need to get Amy. She asked for it's approximate head count because some people show up that weren't even on there and some that said they're coming and they're not. But she will like a head count 10 days out.
Okay. We'll get it to them here.
what
I'll
is
start
that,
pushing that this week. Yeah.
It's probably next Thursday or something.
Yeah.
If we can come up with an approximate number. It's never going to be exact.
Tebow says if them girls fans show up, he may be throwing some bowling balls. Not a Cowboys fan, Tebow. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, well, that'll be fun, man. It's going to be a blast. And Morris, thank you for everything, man. You're making all this come together. So yeah. But Coach almost says I'm still at happy hour. Give me some time.
I tell you what, if he's coming out of happy hour, I don't think there's going to be much of a filter on what he says.
No, hey, it's true. That's true.
I never played for the guy, but I can imagine talking about a flat browbeating each practice. It had to be brutal.
Well, he said it the best. He said something like, what was it? I quoted him, or I wrote about him in the Patriot this week. He said something like, I may not have been on everybody's menu for very long, but he said something like, it was a great line. When I was there, those players sure ate a hell of a lot better than they did before I got there. I'll tell you that, and it's a good line. It makes a lot of sense.
Well, I'm sure a lot of the players, probably most of the players that played for him, they adore the guy now.
Yeah.
He taught them some life lessons.
Yeah. Hey, we're told Devin says we look like a cover band in the 80s, kind of low key. Thanks, Devin. I appreciate that.
Just imagine what our hair looked like back in the 80s.
David's already a musician, right? Morris, come on. We're already there. And Denny and I can just fill in.
Denny looks like a lead singer from a grudge band in the 80s.
He does.
He's got that look.
It's been called worse.
You look good.
I meant that as a compliment, Danny.
No, I'm kidding. It's all right.
He does. He really does.
I could see him running around stage in shorts, even. Like HDDC.
Thanks, Devin. You're right. I think we kind of do. We kind of do. We'll take that. At least, yeah, we'll take that. We got to sound better than some of these bands that are touring now from the 80s. They sound so bad. I've been watching some of these highlights of David Lee Roth. He's out. Oh, my Lord. Do you need the money that bad? Did you blow it all on drugs and booze? And
women? Hey, speaking of that, my wife and I, because last week I didn't make the show, my wife and I went and saw Barry Manilow at the Prudential Center. And
you saw Barry Manilow. How was that, man?
Well, they delayed us getting into the Prudential Center first by 10 minutes, then another 10. And I'm looking at my wife I'm like, something's going on here. And then we get in, the concert starts at 7. About 10 after, some comedian who does jokes by playing a guitar. Everything's like, as a matter of fact, he did a David Lee Roth song joke. So whatever. He was on that grand total time. Barry was on stage was 7:40 to 7:40. It was like an hour. It was like 70 minutes total. For that, would normally he was doing. We've been to see him play at Radio City Music Hall a few times, and that show was starting at, that show was almost going 3 hours.
How
And,
old is he? He's 80 now, right?
He's
He's
80.
83.
Yeah.
I just looked it up.
Wow.
Well, somebody came up in front of where we were sitting and talked like he actually knew something was going on, and he said there's a problem backstage with Barry.
Oh, sheesh.
It didn't seem right that he was. Well, first they said the reason why they let us in late was because he was late for sound check. And I said to my wife, well, they lost about 20 minutes of people buying concessions by keeping everybody outside. And just the whole thing seemed weird, and like some of the songs, it sounded like it was certain parts of the lyrics were being put in over line, on the loudspeaker but it was just. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, obviously, he doesn't need the money. I also think maybe too he feels so loyal to that concert was canceled back in April. This whole tour he's currently on was canceled because of the throat cancer he had, and he's just coming back from it. I think he's kind of doing it as a goodbye to these fans. I'm not coming back here again.
Hey, want to say hello to Denless. What's up, Annabelle? Denless _Annabelle _1. Welcome. Subscribe. Or I'm sorry, DIHLES. Dillis Annabelle. Sorry. Not great at reading that.
I had a friend of mine go see Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top about a month and a half ago or so. And he was telling me that there was a lot of backtrack played on his guitar riffs and vocals. They said there was a whole lot of backtrack played on that, and I was like, please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. But you get to a certain point in time, it's probably tough to keep doing it.
Well, it was a sin what they were doing to Frankie Valli.
Oh, I know.
God, that's terrible. They were doing that poor guy.
That was sad.
I can't imagine he still owes that guy money.
They said sometimes he'd go out, and the only reason he knew he could sing, he saw the microphone because he's got dementia or something. Like, so he's battling. Like, he just saw the microphone, so his instincts, and they just let him go. I mean, it's just sad. It is. People just trying to milk it.
Have y'all seen clips of KC and the Sunshine Band?
Yes.
I have not. Uh-oh. How bad is it?
And the thing is, the best of my knowledge, he doesn't have any dementia or anything.
Yeah.
He did. He did back then.
He's eaten a few pies. But it's
right, now I gotta look.
Backtrack and lip sync all the way.
Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
Oh, is he really? He's just lip syncing?
That's the clips I saw. That's
Well, that's disappointing.
Well, I can tell you, I think we talked about this maybe on the last pop, but Karen and I saw Santana. Santana's mid-70s. He's old. He sat down most of the time. He doesn't do vocals. He has always has hit.
Correct. He's never sang. That's right.
He didn't miss a note or a lick on that lead guitar. Then a week or so later, we saw Willie Nelson. And I've heard people say Willie is so bad or whatever.
Yeah,
He did have to take some breaks because he's short of breath. He's got COPD and all that stuff. And probably with all the weed he's smoked, it's really taken an effect. But when you could tell he was getting short of breath, he just turned the microphone around. Everybody knows his songs, and they would help him.
They let them sing. That's cool. That's good.
But he didn't miss a lick on Old Trigger, his beat up guitar. He played that to a T.
Big fan of the song Winning.
93 years old.
Santana's Winning in the 80s. Y'all remember that song, Winning?
Yep.
That was my favorite. I love that song. That was a good song. It was a good tune. We used to play that in the field house. Yeah.
I'd say that was used on a highlight tape or two.
Yeah, we used to play it in the field house during lifting during the summers. Yeah, that would be blaring out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things with a lot of these bands that, and I don't want to say it bugs me because you do what you do and whatever, but a lot of these bands that were the classic bands from the 70s or whenever, and they're still touring, but they might only have one member out of six.
That's
And
true.
they
Yeah.
might only have one person out of six that's actually in the band, and they still use the name.
Chicago's still touring.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Journey just sold out the Roanoke Civic Center with one guy.
Is it still just the lead singer?
No.
No,
they've got some other guy that's the singer.
Is it still the Asian gentleman? Is that still him? Yeah, he's unreal though. He's been great for a long time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, and there's some bands I can see, like a Queen. I can understand that just for the simple fact. I mean, you still got the band. You don't have the main guy. Rush just started a major tour, and and Neil Peart had passed.
That's right.
And Rush's music is, the drum fills are huge in it, and they got this girl from Sweden, and on YouTube they showed like the 3 shows in LA, and she knocked it out of the park. She absolutely knocked it out of the park. And that would have been a job, that's a hell of a job to step into.
Is Getty still with him? Getty Lee still with him?
Yeah. Getty Lee and Neil Lifeson.
Thanks, wife.
You're welcome.
Is he back? Is son of mine back? Oh, okay. Sorry, we're trying to get things organized here. The wife just brought food. So how about, it's still a weird sentence to say. The wife just brought food. So
What's your wife's name?
Those days.
You may see me, Janet. Same as Coach Elmo. Coach Elmo's at a show, by the way. He's going to try to make it though. He says he's outside at a pavilion down at Myrtle Beach.
When he tells you stuff like that, it's almost like in a joking way. You want to cuss him out and tell him to get his priorities straight.
I know. Come on. Yeah. Slacker. Yeah. So let's talk. I want to talk a little bit, Coach. I haven't talked to you about. I want to get your honest assessment about James Franklin and the job you think he's going to do long term. I'm just going to flat out tell you they completely blew this athletic director hire. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. And the politics behind it, I know a little bit about, but I don't know about them going forward. I see the Wisconsin AD, and they have a great release about this guy. He looks, what they're saying about him, and then everybody I see Tech hiring, it's all about fundraising. It's not about any other aspect of what they can do other than fundraising. Mm-hmm. So what this means now with this guy in place, it's going to be the James Franklin show. It's going to be nobody else. I don't know. There's nobody else going to have any decision-making power. Coach, what do you think? I mean, we know he's been a winner 2 other places. He got into some issues there with Penn State, their fans. How do you think he's going to bring Tech out of this and take them into the new era? What do you think?
I think he will bring some level of success back. How much and where, who knows? I think the biggest worry that I would have, and I'm not as deep into it as you guys are. I'm not as deep into it as you guys are at all. But the biggest worry I would have is, if he doesn't necessarily like how things go, there'll be another job for him somewhere else. And that's the thing. Or if he sits there and he looks and he does see a ceiling, and then I think that's the worries, and I don't know him personally or anything like that. But I mean, it's college football. It's basically, sad to say, but it's dog eat dog. It's a dog eat dog business now. And I think as far as the excitement, I mean, just what we've seen in the last however many months, the excitement that he's brought back to Blacksburg in the anticipation. The only problem with all that anticipation and everything, if you fall, it's going to be a hell of a drop.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's the only thing when you've got expectations so high. But, you know, as far as long term, that would be the worry. As far as the AD part and all that, I can't speak on any of that because I know very little about all that. I can tell you some things. I don't even really want to know if I want to get into it or not. I was and I still am a season ticket women's basketball program holder. And to say I was not happy a couple of years ago and I understand the business end of it. And I heard you on your show and you explained it, you know, pretty well, and I understand it. That doesn't mean I liked it. But when all of a sudden the coach that brought that program to the level they were at right there didn't, you know, needed money to compete on that level and basically didn't get it. Left,
did not get it. Right.
And left. And the next day, a certain coach who coached football, who I won't say the name because he's still there, who was a position coach, was made a millionaire.
Right.
And that didn't, I mean, I understand football. I understand football makes the whole show run. But as a season ticket holder for the women's basketball program and everything, that, you know, needless to say, that did bother me. And I'm not saying it was wrong, but it didn't please me. So
you talk about Bonnie, right?
Bonnie
you talking about Bonnie Hendrickson? Did you go back that
far?
far?
I knew you were going to come back with that too. I'm thankful to those years too, because it was good basketball back then. And the biggest thing is I got to take 2 of my 3 daughters to go see Diana Taurasi on 3 different occasions, I believe, on 3 different occasions. And they can say my money's worth. They can say they saw one of the best to ever do it.
I hear you, Coach. You're talking about the current situation, and we lost a coach to Kentucky, and then hired a lady from, where was she at Marquette, I believe. I think she's doing a good job actually, but
they're solid. They're solid. It's the thing is though, she's not, and it's not a knock on her, but, and again, I want to word it right because as sure as I say this, it'll come out wrong. She's getting good players. She's getting good players. Okay. And maybe we got spoiled a little bit with the Taylor Souls and the Kayla Kings and the George A. Moores and the Liz Kitleys. And we might have got a tad bit spoiled.
That's some great players.
And when I go away, guys, I'm just
like Carly Wenzel, he brought in, and just how, but proud of her the way she's developed. She's done a great job, and you know, Coach Duffy, I think, has done a great job. And all that. So
I think so.
That doesn't bother me because, like I said, I keep renewing my season ticket. So
tried to get her on the show. So their SID at the time, they have an SID that travels with every sport. She found out I was trying to get on the show. Somebody who was watching the show told her. She reached out to me and said, "Here, Rick, just take my phone number and just reach out to me. She goes, I never got any of the messages. And she goes, that person's not here anymore. I was like, okay, good. So we'll have her on next season. We'll get her back on. Get her on next season because she was great on the radio show. So,
Well, Rick, I'm not in the coaching business or all that. I have been a Virginia Tech season ticket holder in football for 30, I think it's the 34th year. And obviously seeing all these changes, if you go back that far, I was there for the years, and even before season ticket holder, I would buy tickets and go see games at Virginia Tech, and been a fan since I was a kid. But the thing I think about Franklin is the hire with the AD, obviously, by getting to know Matt Rohn on your show and stuff, that would have been my pick. And he had ties to Virginia Tech as a player forward. And you don't have to listen to him long to know he's organized, he's got his stuff together, and knows how to run a program. You get that feel from him, and you get the feel that it's somebody you'd like to work with or around.
100%.
But hey, they made their decision, and they've made a lot of decisions over the years since my years and years of paying season tickets that I haven't agreed with, and a lot of them have agreed with. But bottom line to me with Franklin, the recruiting is obvious. It's obvious how far we moved,
especially with money now.
We were 100th or something, and you go from 113th. Next year they're projecting top 10. And it's pretty obvious in his past record what he can do with the players he's got when he's got good players. The bottom line to me is, dude, you got to win big out of the gate. We all talk about Maryland and we talk about VMI. Dude, you got to win. You got to win 7 or 8 of these games. You're in the lowest.
I agree.
You're in the lowest conference out of the big 4 conferences. You got the easiest, best path to get to that playoff and to win a championship in the ACC. And next to Miami, who's got better players than he does right now? Maybe Carolina. I guess they've recruited pretty good, but Wake Forest doesn't have it. Duke doesn't.
Well, right
have
now,
it.
you mean
right now
team?
next to Miami, who has a better
Florida
roster
State,
top to bottom?
Florida State, Miami, maybe Pitt, definitely SMU. Now, I'm talking about this year's team. Now, I'm not talking about future teams.
Correct.
I think there's probably 5 or 6. This year's team. Yeah. SMU's loaded, by the way. Yeah.
Rick, let me ask you a question, and you might not want to answer it.
Yeah.
But and I'm asking out of curiosity because I really don't know. What are your concerns with the AD hire?
Oh boy, here we go. I want to hear this.
And again, I ask you that because you might not, because the position you're in, I don't know.
I've been told a lot of info by several people. They trust me. So there's a lot of things I can't divulge until I get the okay to divulge them. Let's see. James Franklin had to have a certain type of individual in that position. He had to have an individual. He had to have an individual that will agree with him all the time. That's the nicest way I can say it. Matt Rohn is so good at what he does. I think that came down to the way it comes down to me is he realized that would not necessarily be the case with Matt Rohn as opposed
to Matt Rohn did put in for it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And see, I didn't
I'm
know
not
any
even in the know. 704 miles away.
One can say that putting in for it is a vast understatement. Yes. But again, these are things that I'm going to wait until he feels more comfortable. He's going to do a great job at JMU, and he is going to get a Power 4 job very soon because he did not. People thought this was going to be a done deal with him in Blacksburg, and now that he hasn't, he's already gotten 5 Power 4 schools that are getting ready to change ADs. 3 of those are in the Big Ten. One is in the SEC, and the other one's in the ACC. He won't be out of the Power 4 situation very long. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, like I say, that part of the stuff I don't read a lot about, and I pull for Tech play. I'm not the fanatic guy or anything like that, but I definitely pull for him. But I pull for Virginia too. You know, I know that's like sacrilege to a lot of people, but you know, if it's an in-state school, I'm pulling for them. And I grew up in Blacksburg, so there'll always be ties to Tech.
I do too, Coach.
Yeah.
I don't. If JMU's playing or Virginia's playing or ODU's playing, if they're not playing Virginia Tech, yeah, I'm from Virginia and now looking from afar, but I pull for Virginia team, sure.
And if Virginia's playing Tech, I always, you know, and again, not that it makes a difference how I'm pulling for it, because most of the time, if it's a football game, I'm sitting there analyzing, trying to break it down, as opposed to rah, run, score type of thing. But, you know, if Tech is playing UVA, my whole thing is who's the game more important to?
I'll tell you what, Rick, after you just explained the way you did and couched that thing on the AD, if I were you, I'd make a beeline over to Grand Piano and see if you could take charge of that damn sofa department. Because you did a hell of a job right there, buddy.
Well, I get told
good.
I get told a lot of things by people who are involved in the search, and they trust me because I've known them a long time. A few of those people in particular. One who's getting ready to come on the program that I talk to regularly, that used to be the defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech. So I feel like the information I get is pretty damn solid. You know, I think when you have somebody who's in on the conversations telling you things, that's probably pretty good.
But
but at the same time, I'm not worried about being first, and I'm not worried about breaking news, and I'm not going to betray that trust. That trust means more to me than trying to get something out there.
That's why I asked you that with but here's the other thing with that though. And I understand the concerns there and everything. If Franklin has and is going to have and has that much power in the way things, the whole scheme of things in today's college football world anymore, isn't it going to be like that at most everywhere?
I think maybe.
And if that cat's going to be your highest paid state employee,
I don't know. That's a great question. Franklin's definitely that guy. He has to be in charge. Not that he just wants to. Yeah. There we go. We had a little problem there. Everybody good now? I don't know if this is on my end tonight, internet-wise or not. I may try something different here in a second.
Probably is. You were a little
we're okay now.
there. But...
It could be. Coach, it might be. Yeah. Coach, it might be. That might be where we're going. I think the approach of it's going to be interesting to see, you know.
I mean, it quit being college athletics, a while ago. And now it's come down to we've got to support that football program, hell or high water. And again, I'm a football guy. I have a retirement. I raised 3 children. Got them all educated. Everything I have is because of the game of football. But I also see where, as time goes on, things have gone askew with it.
Yeah, well, look at the situation this past year with Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, and then the buyout for Kelly.
Yeah,
I mean, that whole thing was a nightmare.
Good example.
And
And
see,
again,
that's,
it's very similar to what you just said, David, about they're getting control.
yeah,
They're the highest paid state employee at all these schools, and they want control. They want people that are going to let them do what they want, because at the bottom line is we need to win. If James Franklin goes 7-5 this year, there's going to be fires started in Blacksburg. You know that, and I know that. Everybody
I
thinks
wonder-
he's winning 10 games.
but
this year.
but the thing is, he can always escape.
True.
Whatever happens at Tech, he can always escape.
Very true.
The problem is what you have done to that point to get him, and the power that you have given him. It's just like, and I don't want to go off on this or anything, but it's just like our political system now. It's just like everything else. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
You're right. You're right.
You can't go. You can't go back to, and people say, sure you can. Probably not.
No,
not now. Not at this point. And especially when it comes down to money.
They're all in right now on that poker table.
Yeah.
Yes.
Schools. Yep. All in. This is it. This is our year. This is our situation. This is our guy, and we're going to win now.
By the way, thanks, Dwight. Dwight on the chat said, "Hey Rick, I've been trying to get there. My wife just asked me to go to dinner." I'm like, "Yeah, I think that's an easy decision, my friend. Eat well."
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, Denny, good points, because our college football as we know it was taken away from us. I mean, once NIL, the pay for play, and the portal came in, and it's funny, today I was at Publix. Publix is your Kroger in Blacksburg. But there was a guy in a Porsche, and he had the hood up, and I thought he was working on the car. Well, the Porsche is on the front. That's where the trunk is. And he was putting the groceries out, and he had a big Alabama shirt on. So I just struck up a conversation. I'm one car over from him, struck up a conversation, and said, "Hey, you're Coach DeBoer. I understand he just got a new raise and all that." And he said, "Yeah, I really like him." He said, "I'm concerned about the offensive coordinator." Then the conversation kind of went about, like we talk about, what's good, what's not good about their team. And he said he really had a lot of concerns about the offensive coordinator, but I forget the quarterback's name. He said they have coming up that should be really good. But once he knew I was Virginia Tech, he said, "Man, you guys got James Franklin." He said, "Boy, he got screwed." I said, "Well, I guess it depends on which side of the fence you're on there. But when you're walking away with $50 million, I don't think you're getting screwed." But he mentioned when we were talking, he said, "Man, that guy is one hell of a recruiter, isn't he?" I said, "He sure is." I said, "I don't know where we were a year ago in recruiting, but it was up around 100 or more. And now you move from there all the way to 13th. I think the last I saw this year, we were 13th, 14th, somewhere in there in recruiting. If you can move that needle that far, I mean, you got somebody either up there looking out for you, or you got a skill that most other coaches don't have."
Well, he's got to get them here, and then he has to develop them.
And they have to stay. That's true.
Because
they can go anywhere now.
And that's the same anywhere across the country. That's why I don't pay attention to any of this shit. It's like, I mean, everybody gets all excited. It's great for fans. I understand fans are eager to see it turn around. And if he gets them here, then that's great. But nobody that he's recruited and has committed for 27 is being left alone if they're deemed worthy. I've been told there's five of the guys that are key to that class are getting hammered with offers. They have a whole senior year to go. Now, if they come here and they sign, then that's great. If they get through, but let's just see how many of them make it here. Then we can start getting excited. That's all.
Well, and the big thing too, with the recruiting stuff, and again, I don't mean this in a mean way or anything. And obviously, Franklin and Tech are doing, everything they can to get and raise and find funding wherever they can find it, and stressing the importance not just for the recruiting, but so the big conferences can see that, yes, we can raise money.
Correct.
Type of thing. And yes,
Correct.
we can raise money on your level. But the big problem is, if you're starting from square zero, and you got to assume that Tech is probably at square zero.
Feels like it. That's what Will said. It can, yeah.
Working their way up. So now, whereas before with Frank Beamer's bunch, and it was a different time, but with Frank Beamer's bunch, he was getting the biggest thing. He was getting in-state kids. He was getting Eastern Shore. And but the thing is, if a kid's going to come to Tech and Tech's going to offer him $2 million, and Columbus, Ohio offers the same kid $2 million, why is he going to go to Blacksburg? And I love Blacksburg. I'm from the area. And
they're going to offer the same kid $2.5 million. You know, that's what they can do.
Yeah,
that's what I was getting ready to say.
I mean, let's say they're on equal footing financially. Then, you know, the kid still, you know, you're talking about a rural town in a very rural area. Those kids don't know the things we know about our area. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think
I would say as an athlete, where am I going to play more?
That used to be the thing, right?
Same offer from Ohio State and Virginia Tech. Okay, what's my easiest path to becoming QB1?
Well, and the other thing I would push back a little bit on that, David, because you had Grunkenmeyer at Penn State, a much bigger name than Tech. That was a starter, and I assume he would still been the starter there. But Franklin had that ability to say, go from Columbus, come to Blacksburg. Franklin has a unique ability to recruit in a way that's pretty amazing. I mean, him, Brett Prawn, all those guys, they've taken away from Virginia Tech for the last decade. However long Franklin's been up there, they'd take the Eastern Shore 757. They were taking all those players.
And
they weren't going to Virginia Tech.
And back with what I was saying, you know, with Franklin, hell, he was getting kids to come to Nashville.
He did. He recruited well at Nashville. He did.
And the thing is, you know, and he's not able to recruit, you know, and at the time he was there, he's not able to recruit any Tom, Dick, and Harry. He's got to get these damn 3.2 to whatever GPAs, and
academically they got to be sound,
to get into Vanderbilt. I'm sure it's definitely loosened up over the years, but I think when Franklin was there, it was probably fairly strict. And knowing who to get and all that. So,
but everybody, speaking as a high school teacher, though, everybody's got a 3.7 GPA now coming out of high school. So
everybody gets a trophy.
You can take those weighted classes.
My
daughter would bring a test home, and it would be a 60, and I'd say a 60. She said, "Dad, it's a B."
That's a B.
I said, how in the hell? I said, how in the hell is it a B?
What do you mean it's a B?
You only got 60%. It's weighted, Dad. It's weighted.
To David's point about Franklin, though, you know, nobody's questioning that this man can recruit. Okay. The problem
there's no doubt. Yeah. No doubt.
The issue is he was picked second or third in the country last year in the preseason. And look what ended up happening. Look at all the games that were lost in the second half over the last couple of years he's been there.
Good question.
You know, like I said, he's a great Barry Switzer was a great recruiter at Oklahoma. He walked into high school wearing, you know, the mink jacket, driving up with the Corvette. He's a hell of a recruiter, and he got the talent to Oklahoma, but he had coordinators there, you know, that ran the schemes, offense and defense. You know, he's got to win. He's got to get those. He's got to get that talent, and he's got to win with it.
Okay? It's the John Madden rule, right, guys? You know, John Madden, when he said, "Why do you leave the Raiders after 10 years?" He said, "After 10 years, that's about all you need to be there. The message is done." And he always wanted to be a broadcaster, but 10 years. And you know what? I'm starting to think that's right. Well, how long was Franklin at Penn State? 12 years?
13.
Whatever it was? 13 years? Okay, so maybe that's what started to happen. In college, it's a little different, but I'm starting to buy into that more. 10 years? Maybe it is time after 10 years.
And no national championship. And at Penn
Correct.
State, they think they're Rutgers. They think they invented football.
Yeah, they do.
As do a lot of schools like that. But, he was there 12 years or whatever and won 12. A lot of games. But, but the thing is, toward the end of his career, he was more known for the games he didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
The big games that he lost and all that, which is not a fair way to judge because,
it's not.
What in the 2000s, what is Penn State's ceiling? We were talking about, earlier I said something about what's Virginia Tech's ceiling. Well, what is Penn State's ceiling in the 2000s?
Yep.
Well, what Bill O'Brien did to me is nothing short of a miracle in the 2 years he was there.
Oh, after Sandusky?
After the Sandusky disaster. And what was allowed to happen at that place. I mean, they almost got the death penalty. They almost killed the program themselves. And what he did to bridge that gap, Coach of the Year in the conference, and then to go on after that, I think he went to the NFL after that. Is that when he took the Texans job?
She did.
And then here comes James Franklin saying, well, thank you for bridging the gap. And then he took it to, back to levels that Penn State was used to. So they both did a great job of resurrecting that program. There's no question. No question. Hey, Jeff, good to see you, man. Good to see you. You're the cool kid, Jeff.
Listen, I got a question for you three guys. Hypothetical. Let's say that Franklin knocks it out of the park. He does almost a Cignetti. And over the next year or 2 years, that he recruits well, he gets the people in, the money comes rolling in from TAC, not just the 200-some million that they committed back in the fall, but the 75 million. Money starts rolling in. Buildings are built. Things are done. And he's winning. And the Lane Stadium atmosphere is, in my opinion, second to none. I mean, that is the college atmosphere. You can say all the rest of them too, and they're great. But if he does that and he gets to the next level with Tech, in my opinion, there's no easier path than certainly being in the ACC right now to get into the playoffs every year, to have a chance at the ACC championship every year. That could be Big 12 or whatever later. I get that. But say he builds that here. He gets his buildings. He gets all of his people, and we're winning and we're going way deep into the playoffs. Why would he leave and go to LSU or Alabama if that job came open, or Michigan, my God, and go to one of those where, dude, if you don't win right now, because we already have all the stuff. We already have it.
Tech's having to
Why would you leave?
Tech's having to do gymnastics now to give him what he wants. If he has playoff success in 2 to 3 years, and all of a sudden the SEC money schools start calling, there's no hoops to jump through. He can come in and say we can this is how it's going to be, and go.
Throw that in. We can still 2 to 3 years. We can still pay him.
I think you hit the point there. Okay, just like the ACC, you look at Clemson and look at Dabo. Okay. He ran. They just like Florida State before Clemson. Florida State ran the ACC. Okay, then you had the Clemson run. Okay, if Franklin can do that at Virginia Tech, why in the wide world of sports do I want to go coach in the SEC where I got to play 5 to 6 teams a year that are going to be ranked in the top 25 at any given time?
That's my point.
Ego.
Correct. Wayne,
that would be a serious ego to do that.
I can play you cats in chess and beat all 3 of you constantly. And at some point in time, I'm going to get bored with that. And that's purely a hypothetical situation I'm throwing out
No,
there.
but that's true.
But
That's
I'm
true.
going to want to move up to another level and see
Correct.
if I can do it. And I might step up to the other level and get stepped on.
100%.
But it's something, and
Been
there
in-
is a lot of
He's
ego
been
in
at Penn
coaching.
State, though. He was supposed to be on that team for a couple 2 of those seasons, and look what happened to him.
He was, and he was at Vanderbilt before that, and they didn't necessarily have the means because they were just, they were football, but
Yeah.
he made them into a good program.
He made
but
them this, but I'm saying at Penn
He
State
did.
he had that. Okay,
But
he was
he's
supposed to
never-
be the man, and he got beat up by some teams that were middle of the pack, Big Ten teams.
Here's what he never had to do at Penn State that he's had to do at Virginia Tech since day one. Ask for things. They have more money. They don't ever have a need for anything. They don't have to worry about the facilities because they were already pristine. They're spending whatever it is to upgrade their stadium. You watch them play. I mean, it's already a nice, beautiful stadium. Penn State has more money than any place he has been. And what has he done since he got to Virginia Tech? Here, can we have more?
And it's not as much ask for things as it is educate my employers.
Correct, which is what he's doing right now. Correct,
Yeah.
100%.
If you want this, and he sees, and face it, when Tech was going after a coach, there was desperation there.
Yes.
We want this, and we've got to get this, and we will do whatever it takes to get this. And when he came in, he came in knowing this is mine.
I can do whatever I can. Correct.
Now I've got to teach these cats what to do.
And that's the good part of this. That is
makes
exactly
sense.
right. That's exactly right.
That makes sense.
By the way, let's destroy the myth right now. There was only one guy they went after, Virginia Tech. It was James Franklin. He was number one from the get-go. There wasn't any of this, let's interview 6 or 7 people. They may have had some casual conversations. They offered it to him 3 weeks before he took the job. And they just waited in a holding pattern with Jimmy Sexton. Jimmy Sexton made a lot of trips, and there was a lot of that going on. But Tech had one person in mind, and they ended up getting him. So it works out great when you get your target like that.
Didn't he have that big interview on ESPN before? Was it right after he got fired?
Yeah, he was sitting there on the game day set because, they're anti-Big Ten because they don't have that contract. So,
with the SEC,
yeah. So let's get him in here. Yeah, let him.
Yeah, I remember that, and Nick Saban was blowing smoke up over everybody's ass on.
Of course he was
on the TV.
Of course he was.
But
Rick,
the other thing I think is Tech had one person in mind, but Franklin had multiple teams in mind that he couldn't get.
Correct. And people don't want to believe that, but I've heard it from people who know what the hell they're talking about.
I believe it totally.
He had 2 jobs ahead. Yeah, Virginia Tech was I'm just going to say this, and people can say I'm wrong and whatever, but from what I've been told, Virginia Tech was not at all on his radar until it became the only thing remaining on his radar. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because he's here now and he's changing the culture around, and at least he's trying to, and he'll take it to, a different type of mode than it's been in over the last 6-7 years. But that is a damn fact. It hasn't been reported a whole lot. I don't understand a lot of people don't report on it. But
I think a lot of that, too, was timing of the firing.
It was.
All that, because didn't that sort of trigger
it did
prize firing?
The one that he wanted was Florida State more than any other. But that Florida State wasn't in a position to let go of Mike Norvell. Jimmy Sexton met with Florida State. Correct. That's the job that he really, really wanted. He wants to be at a blue blood. He's been at a blue blood. He understands what kind of entrees that brings him every evening when he's at a blue blood, right? He doesn't have to sit there and focus on this other stuff that he's had to since he got here to Blacksburg. So, but it's not, it doesn't matter how he got here or why he got here. The point is he's now here. So
Virginia Tech got their man.
They got their man, and Tech fans excited. And I'm glad Tech fans excited because they've been a hell of a fan base that have suffered for a very long time.
And if it works, if it works and they're successful, who's going to give a shit about all this other stuff?
Nobody's going to care. Exactly.
Other than
that's exactly right.
The people that actually know what's,
but it'll all go away, David. You're right. If they show up year one and go to the ACC title game, who cares? Who cares?
Winning cures all evils.
And so nobody's going to care. And then that's going to elevate him. And then his reputation starts to come back, right? And that's what he's doing right now. Virginia Tech, I think, is a rehab stop for him.
Well, and that was something I said earlier. How long, is Blacksburg a place to retire for him or anything like that?
No.
Is Blacksburg just a giant stepping stone that he can take a big leap into one of the major jobs?
Well, here's the thing I worry about is this, and I want you guys to chime in. I think James Franklin's going to be successful. I think he's going to be successful enough to finally get somewhere he wants to be. I don't know how many years that'll be, but my concern is, what are they going to do with the next coaching hire when that comes down? I'm talking about long-term for Tech fans, right?
Well, that goes back to what I was saying about putting the toothpaste back in the tube. You've given this man this much power plus the amount of money that you're trying to generate, and all of a sudden he exits, and you go out and there's not a James Franklin out there when you're going to hire, or let's just say there's not anybody. Hell, there might be. Hell, Bear Bryant might come back from the dead. You never know.
But I'm even thinking if they do that, do like they did with Bud Foster, just promote the defensive coordinator. That was a joke.
I know. Well, then it comes down to Brian White if he's still there. You just do that. Wait a minute.
Yep.
So, hang on.
If he's still there.
For me, this is calling us haters, and we're criticizing. We're not. What are we? How are we hating James Franklin? I hate that term, haters. Just because you're talking about something doesn't make you a hater.
No.
Just because you have a little bit of knowledge about how things went down doesn't make you a hater. I just said I think he's going to be very successful here. Now,
and we all want him to be successful.
Correct. It's good for everybody.
We all want him to be successful.
Why are we haters for just discussing this topic? I don't understand that.
The thing we hate on is the state of college football in general.
Yeah, we hate that.
And but unfortunately, that's every school and everything and all that. But it's not Tech and it's not James Franklin. But we're looking at different scenarios that could pop up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to come on and everybody wants to just act like he can't do anything wrong. And no, he did a lot of things wrong at Penn State. Everybody does things wrong. Nobody judges anybody. But the situation, if he has a certain reputation, he's earned that reputation, all right? These aren't people that are just creating this on their own. Now, what David said is true. Penn State fan is completely irrational about their position in the sport because they haven't, we haven't won. When was their last title? When was Penn State's last title? I don't even know.
National championship?
When was that? When was that?
National championship was I at that game in Dolphin Stadium where Joe Pa and Bowden played. I had seats right behind Joe Pa's bench.
Buddy.
I can't remember. I'm not sure that was it, but I saw that game.
1986.
86. Wow.
Is it 86? Jeez, Louis. All right,
That's
so what's that? 40 years.
Miami 14-10 in the 1987 Fiesta Bowl.
40 years.
Wow.
And they have this mindset like they're relevant, just kind of like the New York Knicks had fans for a long time until they entered the 53-year drought, right?
I was 13 when they won the last one before this.
Oh, that was the game Testaverde threw 5 interceptions.
Was it really? Was that the same game?
I'm almost positive. That's the game I think they picked off Testaverde.
Yeah, the Fiesta Bowl. I think you're right.
And that's the thing. It goes back to, any criticism that Franklin got from Penn State
in the hell just happened?
He got it because they couldn't get past that ceiling after 12 years. They were a good football team. They were a top 20, top 15, top 10.
There we go.
But, like we said, a lot of these fan bases get so spoiled and they think they're a whole lot more than what they are.
Rick, I think you were touching on this before, and I love Prometheus. He has so many good comments during the morning show, and he's always on target. He has so many good comments, but so not ragging on Prometheus, but nobody is hating anybody. Some of the best college professors I had were the ones that encouraged you to ask searching questions, good or bad. If you have the ability to ask searching questions, whichever side you're on, and let the people speak. My daughter one time, this was a political thing, but she was on a political candidate or whatever. She wouldn't let the other person speak. And I told her, I said, Carmel, I said, just let them speak. Hear them. I have a lot of friends. I'm probably more conservative as an independent, but if I meet somebody that's way to the left or whatever, I want to hear them. I want to hear what they have to say. Not that I'm going to agree with them, and I may on some points, but the ability to let people speak. They have that right. At least in America, still, we have that right.
Yeah.
Just let them speak.
Yeah, I hate echo
Sorry
chambers.
about that. I got a little crazy.
No, but it's a sports talk radio show.
Yeah, we're not an echo chamber. I don't want anybody to agree with me either.
We could sit there and just give stats and numbers and that type of thing. Or we could sit here and listen to Rick bitch about the Marvel universe because he got the inside scoop on Avengers Doomsday.
Y'all want to see it?
Hey, I read it this morning already.
Doesn't that sound terrible?
I don't. Well, we're going to turn everybody. We're going to lose all our viewers here.
I don't know. We might get more. We might get more.
They can already be lost.
The whole multiverse thing is just
stupid.
I'm not a fan of, and I wasn't a fan of when DC did it. DC did it first, unfortunately, but.
It'll be interesting this year if Matt Campbell has a better season at Penn State than Franklin has at Tech. And I'm just looking at Penn State's schedule. By luck of the draw, they do not play Ohio State, Indiana, or Oregon this year.
Correct.
Damn.
They have a UVA type of schedule in the Big Ten.
Yes.
That's what they have.
Can you? And he got that, and he brought his quarterback from Iowa State too. Becht.
I think he's a really good coach. I don't know what happened there in their search. I think they had some unrealistic. I think they thought they had the BYU coach locked up. As a matter of fact, they had a verbal agreement with him, and then he had a change of heart, like in the middle of the night. If you read his story, he talks about that job and what just happened. So then they started scrambling, and then they fell into Matt Campbell. Unlike Tech, who had their one guy from the get-go, I think Penn State went through 4 or 5 different names before they got Campbell. That's what it feels like. So
I always thought Campbell's teams performed well. He was a good in-game coach, made adjustments at halftime. I'm actually surprised it took that long to get him out of Iowa State, to be honest with you.
Thanks for the article, Wayne. That's a good article about Franklin. I wish I could post it.
And back to the Franklin thing again, too, as far as ripping him. I mean, I have no rips on him. I'm just no. We're just throwing some stuff out there. I would like, as a coach, which would never happen because he's never going to have the time because he's on the tour now and everything. But I would love to just be able to sit down with him and talk X's and O's. I think it would be incredible to do that. I have much respect for him.
I
But I
liked.
mean, we're just looking at scenarios and stuff.
I know. Well, I liked what he said when I sat beside him at that Blacksburg. At the Montgomery County Chamber function. I liked that. I liked what he said about we're not a good football team, folks. I know you want me to come up here and tell you this kid's great. This kid's great. We're going to break. But he said, we're not even close. And I thought that was refreshing. That was very honest. And I left there thinking, well, that's a guy who knows this is his show, but he's not, at least he's not trying to put on this phony, hey, we're going to be 12-0. You know, he said, no, we're not very good right now. We got to find a bunch of football players. And I thought that was a good sign for Tech in 2026 to have him and that staff understand they got a whole lot of work to do. So that was cool.
Hey, by the way, guys, we talk about Matt Campbell. Matt Campbell played, I think, 3 or 4 years at Salem Stadium at Salem High School for the Division III National Championship at Mount Union as a player. He played there, I think, 3 times. And I forget the coach at Mount Union, but he was amazing.
That's a
winning
dynasty.
National championships.
Every year.
Were they the ones they didn't?
And Matt Campbell, if you listen to him talk or watch his football, he's got his shit together, pardon the French, or Swahili, I think it is.
Were they the
This
ones
is-
that
this is
didn't
for you.
practice in pads?
Coach.
Glenn Fittich.
But Matt Campbell, if you listen to him talk or whatever compared to Franklin,
I don't think you saw
you
this.
can't do that because we have Franklin. Oh, you got the moonshine.
That's why I asked you about moonshine when you came on.
Yeah, I got on late. I'm sorry.
That's
Stick
all
your
right.
finger in it and do a Bic lighter on it. See if it goes in circles.
All right, because somebody said Union.
Anyway,
Wait a minute. I got to ask Coach Mabry. Coach, what in the hell's going on with the missing coach at Union? Have you heard anything at all? Did they ever update that situation?
That's
What's happening?
one of the wildest stories I've ever heard.
What's going on, man?
which one is this?
This is Travis Turner.
Travis Turner.
I have no clue. And the thing is, it was funny there for a while. That's all you heard about for like 2 months, 3 months, and now you hear nothing. But he's still on like FBI's wanted list and all this and that. But
I don't understand.
How the hell did I miss this?
Have you
This
not
is a
heard all
coach.
this? Yeah,
This is a coach from where?
Union High School in
Powell Valley.
Powell Valley.
It used to be
Talk
Powell
about
Valley,
the middle
right?
of nowhere.
Who was
Deep-
it? Who
deep
consolidated?
Southwest Virginia.
Who consolidated, Coach? Union. It was Powell
Union,
Valley and
Powell Valley and Appalachia.
Appalachia. So it's Union High School. They've been a powerhouse. They've been really good. He's had a great record. And there was a lot of reports he got in trouble with underage girls. Let's just say it. I don't give a shit. I mean, that's what's out there. That's why he disappeared. And he disappeared, and they played in the playoffs without him. And there was a lot of rumors they had found him, and then they didn't. And now he's just been MIA now for what? 4 months? 5 months? What's going on?
Now, this
6
started
months?
in November. This started in November.
7, 8 months? What are we doing? I don't get that.
And people are saying, well, he's dead somewhere in one of those mines. But I'm like, I'm sure they've combed through every freaking hole in
How could he have
Southwest
disappeared?
Virginia.
Now it brings it back. I know where he's at. I saw him on top of a unit in Ukraine with a machine gun. That's where he's at right now. I never heard this story. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
His dad, legendary coach at Appalachia
Yeah.
for years, Tommy
Yeah.
Turner.
Tommy Turner.
And Travis was quarterback. One of our Narrows teams, 94 team, went to the state semifinals, and Travis was the quarterback of that team. And they were loaded for bear. They beat us 32-16 in the state semifinals, and then beat Middlesex from the Eastern Shore the next week 74-0. And I mean, they were just
Hanging
That's
out.
an ass whipping.
well, you talk about run the damn ball, they could do it
Run
at
down
will.
your throat.
Prometheus is right. He's either on the run, or I guess he's either on the run, or they just haven't found the body. I just don't know how either one of those could be true.
Well, and the thing is, his wallet, keys, everything was at his house. So if he's escaped, how in the hell is he surviving?
Yeah,
And good and well, they would be watching his family.
Plus, you got all this technology with the cameras at every place. You damn well they can find anybody any given time. The federal authorities,
unless he's in Harlan, Kentucky.
It's gonna be one of those made for TV movies.
I think
here.
It is.
He's dead. I think he offed himself. They just haven't found the body yet.
Like DB Cooper or something.
You think that's what it is? I haven't heard anything about his family, his wife, his kid. Like, I don't know. It's strange the way that just poofed out of thin air. It just went away.
Run a damn ball, Coach.
But anyway, not a great topic, but I just thought when I heard Union, I said, wait a minute.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, yeah. This thing was huge, man. It was all over all social media, Facebook in particular. There were hundreds of
it was on all the major news outlets.
It was. They were, immediately. And it just went away. I don't know.
I guess I need to start watching major news and stop watching MASH. MASH is brilliant. That's a great show.
We love MASH.
Oh, MASH. I'm sort of a snob on it. First 3 years I loved.
Coach.
Coach. Look at that guy. He's wearing his Hawaiian shirt. He's been out with his beautiful wife at a pavilion. What's going on, Coach?
This looks like a high-level conversation that I don't think I could be a part of.
You just made it a higher level.
Probably don't.
Yeah, you probably don't.
Oh, hell no. Hey, listen, did you got my text?
I did. Yeah, your wife just beautiful as always. Thank you for that.
Well, this is AARP on steroids down here.
Oh shit! You should move to Palm Coast. You think that's bad?
No, hey Morris. No, listen. Here's the thing, Morris. I'll guarantee it. I had a hip replacement, so I have a handicap pass. Can't use it. Everything is full. Every handicap spot is full.
Yeah. My wife told me, she said, we go to Publix. Publix, I don't know if you have that Myrtle Beach, but
yeah.
My wife said, if you go to Publix and just back in, you can see more comedy and shit than you could imagine just watching the people go into Publix.
Oh, no doubt.
Walkers,
no doubt.
Cans, the shit, people falling down.
Oh, yeah.
I should say that I'm getting old, Coach.
Oh, aren't we all? You know what, though? You come on down here, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself. Trust me.
Raise the old team.
So, Coach,
oh my God.
Who was that band? They look like the Beach Boys. Was that a Beach Boys?
That was the
band?
Entertainers.
Okay.
The couple of, there's about 3 or 4 beach bands. Band of Oz, Too Much Sylvia, Entertainers, and they're really popular down there. I mean, my favorite, my guy, is the Jeb McMillan Mac band. He's a good friend of mine. He's a big South Carolina Gamecock fan. I've taken him to the practices, and we sit in the meetings. He really appreciates it. They are a great band. So, but no, we have a lot of fun. Thursday night they have a big deal on Main Street. It's lawn chairs and golf carts for miles. It's on Thursday night, and Janet likes to go and. Listen, hey, Rick, you're on your second wife. I'm on my 4th. I ain't going on my 5th. I'm going to take her ass.
You doubled it.
Damn, Coach. I'll tell you what, if the rails went off before, you just ran it off.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just telling the truth.
Coach Mabry's not going to have number 2, right, Coach? That's what you told me last week.
Oh, dear Lord, no.
Honest to
Not
God.
at this
Oh, my
point.
God.
Not at this point. Nope.
I love this guy. I love him. I laugh my ass off when you talk.
Just don't have colored loofah on the golf carts, Wayne says, Coach.
Oh, no, really. I mean, you know what pisses me off? Like one golf cart takes up 2 parking spots. I'm going, what the hell? I mean, Jesus.
Coach, do you have a golf cart down there?
Do you have your own? Yeah. Do you
No,
have your,
no, I don't
You haven't-
golf.
you
I ain't got a
you
golf
haven't
cart.
you haven't fully committed to this type of lifestyle. Then you have to get the golf cart.
Not full. No. Listen,
Sure.
I had to take shag lessons to marry the Janet. Okay,
That's right.
That's it. I ain't going anymore.
I've drawn the
I'm
line
done.
here.
Hey, it's 4th down and 2. That's it. It's over.
That's good. That's
Well, I
good.
hope you score, Coach.
Shit. I'm deficient in points. Trust me. I feel like I'm coaching against Peyton Manning every day.
Rick,
But
you
as
just
you
lost
well
this
know-
show. Let's
That's
go.
fine. That's fine.
You being the Hokie fan that you are, you know I launched his career.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, you said that. You did. You did.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said that.
He owes me a check.
Oh, got a glass of wine too.
Hell, it's coffee in the morning, wine in the evening, baby. Hey, Rick, this may be the
Coach,
last time you have me on the
Glenn
show.
finished 12 years.
I don't know
I'm
why
on
I'm
Glenn
frozen
finished
here.
12
Oh,
years.
that a boy. Yeah.
I don't know why
Hell
I'm
yeah.
frozen here. I'm frozen. Let
There
me
you go,
see.
Coach.
Yeah. Oh, got the moonshine. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
listen.
Denny's got the water.
When I was at coaching at Ferrum, when I got to Ferrum in '69, they broke up a record 82 stills.
82?
Franklin County.
Wow.
Oh yeah, biggest moonshine. What used to be North Wilkesboro, then Franklin County became the biggest moonshine county in the country. Back in the day,
Coach, when I first came on, they were saying, Morris, I got on a little bit late and I said, do you have moonshine? Because Coach Mabry had the moonshine. I said, yeah. Down on New River at the New River Falls, we used to camp out there as boys.
All right.
Somebody had got a jar of moonshine from Franklin County.
Yes.
One of the guys that was there said, well, I'll tell you if it's any good or not. So he stuck his finger in and had a big lighter and he lit it and the circles went around to the top. He said, yep, it's good.
It's good. It was
And
blue.
hell,
It's good.
Us boys were like, okay, it's good.
Yeah. No doubt about it. I went to one time and I was coaching a Ferrum, like 80, 81. You remember the Wood Brothers racing team out of
Yes.
Stewart?
Yep.
Yeah. They used to have this big apple butter whole weekend deal up in the mountains. You had to have a 4-wheeler to get there. And they had all the bluegrass bands. My favorite was a good friend of mine, Roger Handy, and the Lost and Found, big bluegrass band, Southwest Virginia, and the Bluegrass Cardinals. They'd come up here and play all weekend, and we'd go up there and spend all weekend with the Wood Brothers. I think Neil Bonnet was racing for them at the time back in the 80s. So that was a lot of fun. And the moonshine was flowing like you can't even begin to imagine.
I'm sure you did participate.
Oh, hey, you know what? It's the last time. You know, here's the thing. That damn moonshine, it brings out a personality you didn't even know you had.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
yeah. It's
holy
bipolar juice.
Firewater.
Bipolar juice.
next thing you know,
Who the hell's this guy?
yeah, no doubt. And that's the last thing I needed, Morris. Trust me.
That's
Should we be at all concerned the host of this show can't even get on his own show right now?
Who's that?
Rick.
Well, I tell you
Well,
what.
he
After two more of
He
these,
might
I'm
have had
not
to
going to
do
give
his
a shit.
cat.
That's right. He got tired of Morris, whatever he's drinking. Coach is drinking moonshine. I got the wine. Denny, I don't know what you got in front of you, but
I'm drinking water.
oh, they're the boy. Well, you know what? God bless you.
Hey,
Coach Elmo.
Coach, you weren't on last week. Coach Mabry had was it a 12-year-old bottle of Pappy Van Winkle?
Wow.
I saw it over his shoulder last week. I
Oh
said,
my God.
that's a
Wow.
good bottle of whiskey you got
Posted
right there.
3 state football
'Cause it's a
championships and 3
grand a
college
bottle, my boy.
graduations.
Wow. Hey, by the way, we don't need Rick. Let's just have us our own show. The hell with them.
Okay.
Coach Elmo, question.
Okay.
What was Jeff Williams like as a player when you
geez.
coached him?
You know what? I got a picture of Jeff with the 86 Peach Bowl defensive backs. And he was a smile on his face, just wanted to be coached. He was like my golden retriever. Love me and coach me. Just coming to practice with a smile on his face and love football enough where as a walk-on and did a great job. I think he did special teams for us on the 86 Peach Bowl team. But I do have a picture of him and Billy Myers and from Pulaski and Eddie Neal from Bluefield was the DBs at that time on the 86 team. But he was fun to coach. And it didn't surprise me. He got into coaching and excelled. Didn't surprise me.
I coached with him for 3 years at Narrows.
How about that?
And every damn day in practice. Well, this is how Phil Almation does it.
Oh,
every damn day.
Well,
this is a drill.
I'm surprised he won a game if he did that. I mean, Jesus.
Oh, he was, believe me, he talked about you every day.
Well, you know what? It's
much
as you well know, Coach. Coaching is a two-way street. They educate you and you educate them. And
exactly.
that is the business of coaching, and the memories are off the charts.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about something too. And I've told you before, I just thoroughly enjoy your comments. And as I've told you before, you will never get dementia or any of that shit. If you got that much memory, and I'm not a doctor, I get it. But I remember when Bill Dooley was there.
Yes.
And came from North Carolina, got the athletic director job and head coach. And he had some decent football teams, in my opinion. I mean, he would pad it with VMI and some other teams, but his exit wasn't that good. But I'm just interested I have my perception of Bill Dooley, but how you felt coaching underneath him and working for Bill Dooley. I'm just interested.
Morris, let me tell you, to say I appreciate that question, I don't know who's watching, how many Hokie fans are involved, but let me tell you, I will tell you this. He was the consummate professional. Bill Dooley, when he left North Carolina to go to Virginia Tech, all the assistants, Billy Height, Pat Watson, Sandy Kinney, Tom Fletcher, all these assistants that have been with him for years in North Carolina, they thought he was out of his mind because at that time, the University of North Carolina was the place to coach. Now, he was always in competition with his brother, Vince. And so to
Georgia.
be the AD and head football coach, that was important to him. That was going to rival his brother. And there was a rivalry, a healthy rivalry. But I will say this, Bill Dooley was as consistent a football coach as far as the business of football, handling a team, handling players, to the point where when I got there, he lost. Here's one thing he did for Virginia Tech that people don't appreciate, and not that they should, but they don't, and they won't because he brought, for an independent at the time, he brought national TV and bowls to Virginia Tech that they never had. And as an independent, that was really hard. He had enough credibility with the, quote, TV people and football people around where all of a sudden, he's got games on TV. He's got VMI on a CBS national TV game. He's going to the Peach Bowl, Independence Bowl, and then here's the one thing I'll say, and I'll finish this. I could pull out my scrapbook and put it up to this camera and show you when he came into the football office and said, I'm no longer the head coach. This is after we beat Clemson. I'm no longer the head coach at Virginia Tech, which he was fired because of the dual duties. And there were a lot of issues. Administratively, it did not work. Virginia Tech was not wrong to try to separate the jobs. Now,
You can't do both.
Not for him. Bill Dooley did not do a good job as an athletic director. He did a great job as a football coach. Okay, as an athletic director, he had trouble counting. Okay, we had scholarship number issues, whatever. But here's my point. He tells us in the stat, we had just beaten Clemson at Clemson. They were 12th in the country. We went down to Death Valley and kicked our ass. Okay. Now we got to go play Syracuse at Syracuse the next week. On Thursday, he comes in and he said, I'm no longer the head coach of Virginia Tech. Goes down, tells the team, and I have the article, front page article, big headlines. They are livid. The players loved him. No, they didn't like him. They loved him. They vowed we're going to win the rest of our games. And we did. Other than a forfeit to Temple, lost to Bruce Arians' Temple team, which they had a forfeit because they played 6 ineligible players. That record stands as 10-1-1 officially. Those players,
and that Temple team had a
Bruce
Palmer,
great All-American running back.
He was a Heisman. He was a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, he was the one of the 6 that were ineligible. Not Bruce's fault.
I'm never going to get dementia. I just remembered that.
But it was so. My point being is, Bill Dooley. I loved it. It was 2 years of my. Matter of fact, when they fired Bill and Frank was getting interviewed, Frank was interviewing all the coaches. I was so pissed off, not at Virginia Tech, but the circumstances. It was my favorite place. I recruited well there, did my job. We did as an assistant coach. You've done, our players were graduating. And next thing you know, I'm out of a job. We got fired. So I told Coach Beamer, I said, Coach, I appreciate the interview, but if you offer me a job, I'm not taking the job. I'm out of a job, but I'm not taking the job. I said, I am really upset at what and moved on. But here's the kicker, and I'll let you go. Frank found out I was going to go coach at the University of Virginia, so he called me back in. He said, Phil, he goes, I've got one position left. I got quarterbacks to coach. I go, Coach, it'd be the worst mistake you ever made in your life. I coached in my first 6 years and ruined every one of them. You don't want me to coach that position.
Being honest.
Can
everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Hey, Rick. Hey, Rick. Sign off. We're good. We're good, Rick.
My Lord. I was going to say, hey, I just learned something, which is really cool.
I know. That was a great segment, Rick, without you.
Rick went and mowed his yard real quick.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm sorry for the long. Sorry for the long.
No, it was great.
Soapbox, but
I just learned something.
But I tell you, Coach, you've danced around Bill Dooley a couple times, and I was in '86. I think it was '86 when he got fired because Beamer took over in '87. But I remember Bill Dooley and Rabbits Moore in Roanoke was his attorney.
Oh, yeah. Rabbit was his attorney.
So I left the insurance company, went to another one, and they had a non-compete clause. So the insurance company gets Rabbits Moore coming after me. And
good luck.
I sent the insurance company back. I said, listen, if Rabbits Moore can get Bill Dooley $1 million and 2 limousines, he had 2 limousines or whatever he had at Tech.
Oh, yeah.
He kept all those. He done all the stuff. Rabbits Moore was awesome. I said, if he can do that for Bill Dooley, why the hell am I going to mess with that?
Oh, no
you
doubt.
Tell me what to do.
No doubt. Listen, Rabbit, I was sitting in I can't remember, someplace in Roanoke. We were at a bar. This was after lawsuit. He won. Obviously, Bill was good, and that was the whole thing. The reason why Bill had to tell the team and our coaches, because the Roanoke Times that Saturday before we were playing Syracuse, they leaked that Bill Dooley was suing the university for $3.4 million.
Something like
Rabbit
that.
and Rabbit Moore he always said, he goes, Phil, we had no business winning this. None. The attorney, a lady named Jane Bulbin, I'll never forget it. She goes, they ended up firing her ass. She screwed up so bad that he won the case, and there never should have been one for a breach of contract, basically. But he was a great coach. The players loved him. We're playing Virginia. We're down 10-0 at the half. We come back and win 22-10, and that was Bill Dooley. Bill was one of those coaches. If you're behind, you want to be with Bill Dooley. If you're ever behind in the game, you want to be with Bill.
The old trench fighter, and that's what I understood at the time. The players loved him.
Oh, geez, no, enough to win 10 games and a Peach Bowl, the only bowl win in the history of the school. That's how much these players absolutely adored this guy, because he treated them right. He treated the players right, very professional, very businesslike, treated the staff right. He had a great staff of coaches, and that's what the culmination of a 10-1 season with a Peach Bowl win is what transpired for Coach Dooley.
Yeah, and I think Bill and Vince both, they grew up in Biloxi or Mississippi,
Mobile,
and
Mobile.
Catholic schools raised both of them.
Yeah.
I can still hear Bill's voice from the coaches show. Cyrus Lawrence on the sweet style play.
Yeah, sweet. Hey, Coach Mayberry, you'll love this. We're losing to Kentucky. Coach Claiborne's coaching at Kentucky. It's the 86 game. You got the two winningest coaches in the history of Virginia Tech football on the field. One was fired. Both of them were fired. The two winningest coaches in the history of the school. So we're playing Kentucky. We're down. We have to kick a field goal to win the game. So they kick off. It's like a minute to go. The kick returner catches the ball and runs out of bounds, like on the 15, 20-yard line. We got to get 40 to 45 more yards for Kinzer for a field goal. Right. Coach, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but first time in my life, I've never seen the toss sweep and the ISO play in the 2-minute drill win a game. He ran the toss sweep and the ISO down the football field. Kinzer kicks a field goal with no time in the clock to beat him.
Gillespie County's favorite, baby. Pulaski County's favorite.
Well, that was the Peach Bowl. Hey, see, that's that Pulaski boy.
Hey, Coach, I used your quote,
County Stadium.
You know, Rick, may not be for everybody's taste for a long period of time, but I guarantee that your football team ate a hell of a lot better after I've been there. Remember that? You told me that one of the first videos. Yeah.
No doubt.
I used that in the article. By the way. It comes out tomorrow, Coach. So there you go.
Oh, geez. Hey, Rick.
They're going to fire me, aren't they? They're going to fire me because I wrote about you.
You picked the wrong. I kept trying to tell you, you be careful. You know, when Coach Beamer in chapter 15 says, best hire I ever made, I told Frank, I said, Frank, they're going to take every Coach of the Year trophy away from your ass. You put this in the book. You're going to lose all your credibility.
Hey, Phil, am I reading this right? You coached at 16 different schools?
18.
Yeah, 18.
Wow.
Yeah. Who's counting at this point?
Did you ever unpack your suitcase anywhere?
You know what? They got their money's worth.
Yes, they did.
You said you were a gypsy, though. You didn't mind that. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's crazy. When I'm at Marshall, I'm coaching at Marshall with Bob Pruitt. We had Byron Leftwich and had a great team. We won 10 games, 10-2. beat Louisville in the GMAC Bowl down in Mobile. And next thing you know, Purdue, Joe Tiller fires his secondary coach. So now when I'm at Wisconsin, we beat Purdue 2 years in a row when they had Drew Brees. We had 7 interceptions in the 2 years, and 2 of those were for touchdowns. So it was like, it wasn't an ass kicking, but we beat them pretty good, more than any other team they played. So the secondary job opens up at Purdue, and Denny, you'll appreciate this, I think. The offensive coordinator, Jim Chaney, and Brock Spack, the D coordinator, who's now the coach at Illinois State, are begging Coach Tiller to interview me. He said, interview him. Tiller holds up my resume. He goes, no effing way am I hiring this guy because of all the places I've been. And so they finally convinced him, Coach, just bring him in. We need to know what this guy had done to beat us for 2 years in a row. And defensive secondary wise, we played very well. We played 2 great games against Drew Brees. So I eventually got the job, but that was a part of my resume. But when we won 10 games, we were fired. I was at Boston College. We had the gambling scandal. I was at the University of Virginia, and the NCAA cut the 10th coach to 9, and George Welsh had to let me go. So there's a lot behind the resume, but it was a great opportunity with great coaches and great players.
Hey, Rick,
Yes,
remember what I told you about Coach Elmo? He talks about getting fired like it's like
You did say that.
Saturday.
Part of the
Opportunity to get
up and I got fired. I mean,
Morris,
And he laughs
opportunity to
about
get a
it.
better job. It's a business. There's only
and that's
two
what
kinds
it
of
always
coaches.
was for you.
Hey, coach, there's only 2 kinds of coaches. One's with job and one's without. That's it. That's all you got. And you move on. And for 40 years, the only thing here's what I'm proud of. I played for 3 head football coaches, Hank Norton, Lou Oates, and Jim Root, and I got to coach with all 3 of them.
No, that's
oh wow.
No, that's one thing I'll tell you right now. You can't take that away. I am so proud of that they had enough. I made enough impression on them, and that they would hire me to coach with.
Did you ever have aspirations to be a head coach?
No. Oh, I'd have been fired in a day. Oh hell no, no, God.
And he would laugh about it.
And,
Yeah,
and
oh,
I
without
asked
a doubt.
this as a, and I
Oh,
asked that
listen,
question.
let me tell you what. If I was a head coach today on a fight with the money they're making, I'd do everything I could to get fired in 2.
And I asked that
the
question.
buyout because of the buyout.
Send me home.
Yeah, send my check to Sanibel Island, Florida. My ass is out of here.
I asked that as a 40-year assistant on the high school level. And I didn't. Once my daughters were born, early on, I thought I wanted to be. But once my daughters were born, I had no desire to move up or.
No, when it was all said and done, I really enjoyed the coordinator's job. Was good. You got to be. Yeah, that's another story. But as an assistant coach, you're the ground roots. And you are influencing people as much as
you're a teacher,
without a doubt. Without a doubt, you are.
You're a
and
teacher,
you know what?
and
you
as
know
a coordinator, you're not as much of the teacher as you would be, as far as a position type of situation.
And for a lot of these players, which Dave, I'm sure you'll appreciate, you don't find out till later on, but you become the surrogate dad for a lot of these players.
Yeah,
right.
You truly do. And
Denny does that too, yeah.
Yeah, no, you do. Which really, it didn't hit me till the last 10 years. I've told Rick, I said, geez, when I see former players, I don't know if they're going to hug me or hit me, or lawyer up and sue my ass. But I'll tell you, they really have. I never realized how much impact we had on these kids. I say we as coaches never really appreciated it.
I know what it means for you, Coach. Right, that's what Wayne's asking. Right, when players call you or come up to you, who was the guy you were telling me? Was it at Grantham's practice or somewhere you were visiting, and somebody was coming at you or came down to see you, and you were sitting there
Well,
going,
no, it was the '86 reunion that they had at Virginia Tech. They had a reunion of the '86 Peach Bowl team. They finally, and I think Morris, you'll appreciate this. They really that it was sad for the players, but because the Dooley years was so controversial, and
At the end, yes.
at the end, and the Beamer years was so good, they literally put the Dooley years on the back burners. I mean, there was like it never existed, and that's a fact. And that doesn't make it bad. I'm not saying that
It
wrong.
doesn't. And Coach Mabry and all, you'll remember those Dooley years when he had the TV program, and we rag on Coach Rag because he would drag out stuff. But Coach Dooley, he had that Southern drawl.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what, in the ball game, and he would drag ball game out for like a month just to tell you what it's about. But he was a sharp dresser. He was very professional.
Very professional.
Only met him a couple times, but Bill Dooley was a professional guy.
Oh, he was.
And a good football coach. The trench
He was an outstanding football coach. And so the '86, they finally, Whit Babcock, I don't know who ended up doing it, but they had a weekend, I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 years ago when Fuente was coaching his last year. As a matter of fact, they were playing Syracuse. That weekend, they honored the '86 football team and did a thing out there with the Peach Bowl and this and that, whatever. And I got a call from Carter Wiley, the safety. I was not going to go. I usually do not attend these things. And Carter Wiley called me up. He said, "Coach, you're the only coach on that staff," because a lot of them had passed away. I mean, Coach Dooley passed away, Watson, Tom Throckmorton, a lot of them had passed away. He goes, "Coach, you're the only coach that, we need you here." And I swear to, I said, "All right, I'm coming." So I get there, and they, one of those bars down in Blacksburg on a Friday night deal. So all the Todd Grantham had flown up. He was coaching in Florida. They had an open date. So he flew up, and there were a pretty good showing. At least 35, 40 players off that team came to this wonderful thing they had for the kids. And I was really first class. So there was a player I had named Mitch Dove, a corner. And I told my wife, Janet, she came with me. And I said, if he shows up, I don't know if he's going to hug me or hit me. And don't be surprised if he hits me. And I don't blame him. I would not blame him.
I don't blame him.
I'll take it in for the team. And all of a sudden, he walks in, makes eye contact. He's hugging me, crying, telling me how much I meant to him and this and that. And I'm sitting there going, thank you, God.
He didn't hit me.
He did hit me.
No doubt.
Wow.
No doubt. So,
Coach, the only I've met Bill Dooley a couple times back in the day. I was an early at that point, early Hokie Club member. But Pat Watson, I got to know. That was a good man. I liked him.
Great man. He was never smoked, never drank. 55 years old. He's coaching in Georgia. He's going out with his family for dinner. Had a heart attack. Died.
Is that what happened? I've always wondered what happened. Is that what happened?
Well,
Great man.
You know what? Hey,
good
Rick,
man.
You'll appreciate this, Rick. Todd Grantham, the best defensive line coaches played offensive line. I really believe that. They make the best D-line coach. Well, he played, let alone playing for Joel, he played for Pat Watson.
That's right.
So all of a sudden he decides to get into coaching, and between Joel and Pat Watson, it was like, this guy's the real deal. And he turned out to be for me, a great, great teacher / football coach.
Coach, Randy Flincham, Coach?
Who's that?
Randy Flincham, who was Joel's Coach Hicks' assistant.
No, that name.
He and Pat Watson were really close, and he used to call me Pat Watson in practice. He would say, "Hey, Pat Watson."
Yeah, Well, there you go.
You never hear about
That's a compliment.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think that's
Well,
the reason you remember my name. Because it was the
that
same
was,
one.
Morris, the thing with Bill had as professional a staff.
David's on the move.
His staff.
Battery's going down.
I got you.
His staff was made in his image. John Gudikins, great coach, not a good coach, great teacher of the game. As you know, and let me tell you, a hell of a recruiter. Lou Tepper, great coach, great recruiter.
I remember Lou Tepper too. Yeah.
I mean, it just
and Throckmorton. Throckmorton was a good coach.
It can go on, and we were all bulldogs in recruiting, And you look at the players, when Bill's last team at North Carolina in '76 or '7, I think '76, when it was the Lawrence Taylors of the world. His last team in North Carolina, I'm going to say 17 or 18, but it's over 15 for sure. Of the 22 starters were from the state of Virginia when they played Nebraska in the Liberty Bowl. And you think about it, when he gets to Virginia Tech, next thing you know, Cyrus Lawrence, Bruce Smith, the kids from Martinsville. I mean, all of a sudden, these great players in the state are staying in the state.
Coach, I want to ask you, Bruce Smith, you coached when Bruce Smith was there, right?
No, I wasn't. I followed him. I wish I did.
You were after.
Yeah.
Because Bruce Smith, didn't they go to the Independence Bowl? And there was an issue with Bruce Smith, and they had to go to Floyd County to get a judge to approve for him to play.
Yeah, there was some crap going on that's like today would be, are you serious? Really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's something to do with fire.
Pay for play now. Come on.
Yeah, I forget, but there was some crap going on, and they ruled him ineligible for the game. And I don't know if he was able to play the game or not, but it was ridiculous. Yeah,
I used to sit in those stands, Coach, when Bruce played, and the Bruce, you thought they were booing, but it was Bruce.
Geez.
That dude was.
You should have seen him.
Amazing athlete.
He played for Booker T. I in Washington. You should have seen him on the basketball court. He was ridiculous. I mean, that big son of a gun was a great basketball player. And, he wasn't that heavily recruited. I mean, I think NC State recruited him. He was more of a regional caliber recruit. So it's not like this, oh, my God, 5-star guy was going to Virginia Tech. He wasn't that heavily recruited.
Coach, I saw.
I appreciate you talking about Coach Dooley.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate
you around it, but I appreciate it.
Well, it's and I can appreciate the Tech under the circumstances at the time because of the, oversigning of kids and the financial situation Virginia Tech was in at the time, which was horrendous. And that Bill Dooley has to be accountable for that. However, as far as between the stripes and on the field, let me tell you, as good a coach as I've ever worked for, and I've worked for some damn good ones. I love them, just like the players did.
Coach, I saw a Cornell Brown highlight reel today because it's 58 days until the start of college football. So the player they picked out was Cornell Brown, and it's like 7 or 8 highlights. And I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, I remember him. But then when you see it, that was the era of the big shoulder pads.
Oh, yeah.
And and not only that, but the motor that he had, he never stopped, did he? He never stopped.
It's how he practiced.
Woo!
It was the same thing in practice.
I need to send you that.
He and Chris Slade in Virginia had the same motor. That thing turned on and you weren't turning it off. Good luck.
Who was better, Coach? Who's better, Cornell or Chris Slade? Let's put him on the spot, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? they were both great players. I'm going to waffle on that one because
good decision.
I'm just glad I was there when both of them were there.
He needs to be selling couches at Grand
That wasn't fair, Coach. That wasn't fair.
No. I will say, Rick. I will say one thing though, Rick. One thing, Cornell. I mean, I know I get accolades and I appreciate it. Blah 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 blah. But let me tell you, Cornell Brown, and you could talk to Bud, Todd, and if they don't say this, I'll be shocked. Cornell Brown has much to do here's one thing I'm really proud of. Really proud of. Go back and YouTube the Independence Bowl because it's on YouTube. Or go back and YouTube the West Virginia game, TV games that are on YouTube. You could see them, the full game. The thing I'm proud of, when somebody on that field made a play, it was like that person that made the play went and found his teammates for the congratulations, to the thank yous, because I know I wouldn't have made this play without you. And that was so consistent on the 93 team. We practiced it. I practiced it. I got to the point. But Cornell Brown was the guy that brought the enthusiasm to the practice field like no coach could bring it. And there's not a coach, Beamer, myself, Bud, Todd. Bud will tell you. This guy brings so much enthusiasm to the practice field. It was so contagious. And this freshman, all of a sudden, everybody goes, oh, this can be fun? You mean practice can be fun? Because it was his playground. And that taught me a lesson in recruiting. I want a guy, when he looks at a field, he looks at it, that's their play. Remember, we all used to go to playgrounds, Denny, Morris, Coach. We loved recess. We couldn't wait to go out there and enjoyed it. And because we were around our friends and had fun. That's Cornell Brown, period. End of story.
It shows. Awesome.
I can't believe there's a player that just made out of Coach Elmo's pie hole come out saying practice was fun. But
it was for him. Yeah, it was for him.
You could see
he had a smile on his face.
He used to have those wild eyes, man.
Yes, you can see it in the highlights.
Open.
Listen, here's the thing about it. Coach Holtz, and I took this into my coaching as a player for him. It's all about handling adversities. And Coach, when I was playing, hey, if there's not a crisis, I'm going to create one. And he would. And it'd be the crap because he knew when you're going into a game, and I know Rick, I'm sure Coach Hicks is very similar, how you handle the adversity that is going to happen. It's going to happen. So where are you with the adversity when it happens? Because the team that wins is the team that handles the adversities better. And that's, to me, I believe that 100%, because they're going to happen. You either positive or negative. And so sometimes you got to create the adversities on the field. It's like going to the dentist. All right, let me see if I need a Novocaine or no. I want to know where the pain's going to be. And then, but Cornell was a positive guy in practice. I don't care what he loved his teammates so much, loved what he was doing so much that was like, I've not been around a player that affected a football team at a time. They won 3 games. This guy wants to go to Maryland. His mother wants him to go to Virginia. He picks Virginia Tech with 3 wins. He's a top 5 kid in the state. He's the most highly recruited kid in the state. I want to go to Virginia Tech. Well, I can make a difference. And that was him.
Easier question for you, Coach. Guy that improved most from year 1 to year 4. It may have been this guy. Dwight Vick.
Made it back from dinner.
What's up?
Let me tell you one thing.
How was dinner? Number 57?
It was great, man. I kept it healthy. I got a club and a side salad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey,
do that
you know
all
what?
the time here.
Hey, listen. Every one of us could play running back behind this big guy. Trust me. Every one of us. We'd get a yard. We wouldn't lose any yardage.
No.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to get you. We're going to get that yard. We're going to get that yard. We're going to get that yard. Yeah, no. Coach, there you go. I ain't getting no minuses. Yeah, minus.
What'd you say? I heard that you only had one illegal procedure in your whole career.
Yeah, listen, you remember JB Grimes?
Oh,
Hey,
the best.
That's
the
good
best.
coaching right there. That's good coaching.
The way I told you guys, the way Al Mason and Bud and Grantham were and Sharpless were on defense, we had the same mentality on offense. I mean, honestly, to this day, I know this has been repetitive, but I never, ever, I mean, I went against some phenomenal players, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, but I will tell you, I played against the 95 defense in practice with J.C. Price, Hank Coleman, Lawrence Lewis, Torian Gray, William Yarborough, Larry Green, and Waverly Jackson, and so many great players. And then I also played against the 98 defense, was a 99 defense, which was Engelberger, Corey Moore, and so many great players. So when you go against Myron Newsom, Tony Morrison, George Del Rico, when you go against Pitt and Syracuse and Miami and Clemson, you already prepared.
Oh, no doubt.
You're not going to see that. Like, that's why that whole phrase, iron sharpens iron. And then, like I always told you, Rick, when we used to talk offline, when you have a strength coach, I can say this now because I'm a grown man, when you have a strength coach as crazy as Mike Gentry and his assistant was Jimmy Winton.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Joe Witt. So like, we did this thing called Man Makers. So when we came back after the bowl game, we hit the ground running. The offseason started then. There was no offseason. We did this thing where we had to squat 21 reps, and it was a certain percentage by max. So you got guys in there, and Gent would have the trash cans all around the weight room. This is the old weight room. I was there for the old weight room and then the new weight room in Merriman. So I saw both. And then we would go out there after doing all that lifting and go condition. I have never, those 5 years in Blacksburg, I was like Thanos, man.
There it is. There's the Thanos. I love it. Man makers. I love that. So they're called man makers.
Gentry was ahead of his time, man. You can ask anybody that played during my era.
Brilliant.
Gentry, we had this thing called bar hang. And you would chalk your hands up and you would have to hang on the bar, and it was time, a minute, and you had to go in groups, and you wanted to make sure you went with a group because if you dropped, you had to restart again. So basically, it sounds easy, right? Hanging from a bar for a minute.
No, that's not easy. Hell, I did that CrossFit.
Yeah. So I mean, it was, and you know what's crazy? Coach Elmo and Bud and all those coaches, Coach Grimes and Steinspring, the only time we saw them in the weight room is that they were just bringing the recruit through there. They left Gentry alone. He was a mad scientist, bro.
He'd throw your ass out of the weight room. You start screwing around with players as the coach. Come in there, start happy jacking with the players. He'll throw your ass out.
That was his. Coach Elmo's right. That was his sanctuary, man.
No doubt.
You did even Beamer.
I never went down there. Wouldn't go down there.
You ain't going there. Yeah, it was him, Coach Witten, and then he added another guy named Sano. A matter of fact, when I got cut from the Ravens, I went back to stay in shape and train, and Gentry hired me as a strength and conditioning coach, man. He said I worked out with him. He would walk around eating tuna fish out of a can because of the protein, bro. And you know what? Hey, nobody was off limits. Nobody. I seen him get on me, Antonio Banks, Michael Vick, my cousin. Nobody was off limits. Nobody.
No.
Nobody.
Hey, Dwight, you're going to appreciate this. The year before you got there, when I got the tech, I knew Mike. Mike was our strength coach at East Carolina.
That's right.
I was coaching at East Carolina. We had Terry Long, Ernest Biner. We had the third highest of NFL draft choices in the country.
Yep.
Texas, Oklahoma, East Carolina.
Yep.
Wow.
So I knew Mike. So I get the job. So he's a tech. I get the job. I knew Mike. And that was one of the reasons why I said, I'm coming. I'm taking this job.
Absolutely.
Because I knew what we had as far as that strength development and attitude development in the weight room. What the problem was, it never transcended to the field. Okay. So one day in practice, we're going through about the third day in pads and a little bit of a dog day. And I'm thinking, oh, crap, we worked them way too hard, you know. And next thing you know, Mike Gentry starts walking on the field. Dwight, you right? You know, I don't have to say anymore. He starts walking on the field, and it's like the antennas and the helmet start sticking up.
Going to be
next
hell to
thing you
pay.
know, all that conditioning crap he would put you guys through.
Yep.
These kids are going 100 miles an hour. Right, Dwight? Right?
You 100% right.
No, you're not pissing this guy off.
Listen.
So
Go
I
ahead,
turn to Bud and Todd. I go, we're screwed. They fear this guy.
We did.
And they don't give a shit about us.
My goal in my 5 years at Tech, because I was always serious on the field, but funny and charismatic off. I was like, yo, I used to tell my teammates, I said, hey, I'm gonna get Coach Gentry to laugh one day. that was an individual goal. You know, you have your goal where you don't want to give up a sack and you want to get a pancake and you want to score this many touchdowns. One of my goals was to make him laugh, man. But I love, I'm telling you, I could go on and on. Hey, Rick, what did I tell you one time when you and I were talking offline? And I called you to vent about Tech. I said, what did I tell? I said, the strength and conditioning program is trash.
Yes.
If you don't have a strength and conditioning program, high school, college, even pro, you're not, man. Gentry, one time, my cousin Mike was in the weight room. I had come back. I got cut from the Ravens, so I was helping out Gentry and Witten in the weight room. And I was walking around just making sure guys were lifted and putting in the work. And Mike was a rising redshirt freshman. And Mike, Emmett Johnson, Terrell Parham, Keith Brunel, was like 5 of them, all the skill guys, because they do it by position group. They're over there arguing over the South Side versus the Peninsula, like Newport News versus North, having the dumbest, crazy argument. Meanwhile, I'm watching them. They're unloaded in squat rack, but one guy's unloading the plates on the right side, but nobody's getting the left side. All of a sudden, they get 2 plates, 3 plates. It leans up after 4, and it hits the wall.
Oh, crap.
Gentry said, get the hell out of my weight room. But here's the funny part. Mike and those guys ran. They ran out of there. They ran. They ran out the weight room. And then I went in the locker room where they were showering, and they were like, hey, is he mad? I said, hell yes.
You know, hey, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what, Rick. And I knew Mike. Those kids, there was a respect. And you talk about fear motivation. Oh no, strictly fear motive, and not to let him down on the results. I mean, that's what Mike had more than, and you know this, Coach Mayberry, the number one thing that those players, they don't want to let you down.
Nope.
And that's what Mike had.
Hey man, I told you this last time, 2 weeks ago when I was on here, but 3 weeks ago. But that's how it was with you, Coach. Like, I was on scout team. We were terrified of you as a young guy, but it was also like you and Grantham. I think those years, you know, Beamer set the tone for what happened post 93, 94. Like, those years, they set the tone that year because you guys were so intense. Practices, like, you know how hot it is? I'm in Florida right now. It's hot. But right now, Rick, I heard you earlier, it's like 107 degrees or whatever.
Yeah.
So when I played, there was no cold red. There was no heat advisory.
No.
We were full pads.
Full pads. Hey, Dwight, you just reminded me.
We're live.
We're live. There you go. Who said that? We're live.
Dwight, here's one thing you reminded me of. I want to share this. is this happened. You know, we'd beaten Pitt. You know, we're undefeated. We're going down to Miami in '93. Now they had beaten them like 50 something to something the year before. So we're going down to Miami. Of course, they're going to have it as a noon game, not a night game. Because you know this. You're practicing in Blacksburg. You got your coats on in the morning. But here's the thing: our conditioning with Coach Gentry and how we practice. We go down to Miami and it is sweltering. I mean, you don't even want to take them for warm-ups. But on the Friday night, the night before, I got with Mike. I said, Mike, I want you to talk to this football team. And I want you to reemphasize the fact that you are, I don't care. There's no such thing as getting used to the heat. There's no such thing. If you practice in the heat down in Miami, you're not, I don't care who you are, Warren Sapp, who they had Warren Sapp, and who else they had a linebacker that year? Geez, I can't remember, but
they had Rohan Marley.
Yeah, Marley, exactly. It's like, I don't care how much hard you practice, there's no such thing as used to the heat. Mike goes in for the defense. I said, Mike, you got to talk to the defensive guys. We need a mindset. I said, help me out here. We need help. So Mike gets up and said, look, you are the best conditioned football team on this field tomorrow. Trust me, you are. Now, here's what's going to happen to you. The first 2 times you're out there, you're going to get punched. This humidity and heat is going to punch you in the mouth. By the 3rd time you're out there, trust your conditioning. Trust what I've put you through. He said, your conditioning will kick in. Okay? And so the first drive was a 26. Miami gets the ball. They drove the ball 26. They had 26 plays in the first drive. They had to go for 4th and 1 and made it. So the kids go to the sidelines. I'm thinking, holy Jesus, 26 plays. So they go to the sidelines, and I told Bud, I said, Bud, tell me about their eyes. The one thing I cared about in coaching was their eyes. They're either bright or dull. And if they're dull, I get it. We're dull.
Oh, my
But
God.
if they're bright, and I said, if they're bright, you tell those bitches, I'm going to blitz this son of a bitch every snap. And he goes, Coach, they're good. They're good. And next thing you know, that Mike Gentry conditioning kicked in at the end of it was 10-7 going into the 4th quarter. We lost the game, but we're kicking their ass. We held them to 250 yards of total offense. The least yards they've ever, and Erickson ever had. And at the end of the game, we had 1 kid IV'd. They had 12.
Yep. Hey, Gentry, in my career at Tech, he was the one, oftentimes, people don't realize this, he was the one that talked to us at halftime. He always, he would call in. I remember my red shirt sophomore year, we were at Syracuse, and that was a house of horrors for Virginia Tech. We only went there once.
Dwight, for a lot of people.
Yep, you're right. And he called us into the showers. He called the LOS, the line. He always called the O line and D line, and the coaches on here know this. And this is why I've been saying, you know, what is Tech or whatever team UVA. If you look at the teams, if they're going to have a good year up front on offense and defense, and he always said that we were the leaders of the team. He called us into the showers, and he cursed us out so hard. But it was like we all looked him in his eye, and he challenged us as men. We ended up losing that game, but we still fought. Like, I mean, those years were so formative for me, man. I have so much respect for coaches, man, because I remember a funny story. This will be funny for the coaches on this panel. So my career was over, I got cut by the Ravens. My wife is from Northern Virginia. I moved to Northern Virginia. I still miss football. I'm trying to get back into the league. So I was like, okay, I got an invite to coach out in Loudoun County at Parkview High School. So I go in coach. I'm coaching high school football. And this is around the time where high schools in the VHSL were going to one long practice versus 2-a-days. But we were still doing 2-a-days. But I'm only in my 20s. I'm still a young guy. So the first practice ends, and all the players are going in the locker room to shower, change, to go home, take a nap, get something to eat. I'm walking to my car, and Coach Andy Hill says, "Hey, Vic, where you going, boss?" I said, "I'm about to go grab a bite, man. I'm about to go get out of here. I'll be back. What time we got to be back? 3:30? He said, "The hell are you doing? You got to come in here and break down film. We got to scout this scrimmage going on. He named, and this is high school." I said, "What?"
This is high school.
Man, I called all my coaches and texted them. I said, "Hey, bro, I'm so sorry. I never knew all the work they did, man. I never, that was, because when you're a player, you're egocentric. You think about yourself. I had no idea that they had, and that was high school. We were breaking down film. I had to grade, because I was working with the O-line. I had to grade the line. And then we had the second practice. That went late. I was getting home, and I didn't even have kids yet. I think my kids were little. I was getting home at 10:30 at night. I said, "Oh my God, these guys," because the players, you're not as insightful as you are as you get older. You realize that these coaches, y'all did so much, man.
Coach Mayberry, I need to ask you a question. Where was your resume in terms of your career?
I started at Southampton.
Oh,
I got out of Radford University.
Who's head coach at Southampton?
Bill D when I got there.
Yeah, Phoebus.
And then Littleton Parker or Brian Burke the next year.
Okay.
And then Littleton Parker took over halfway through the year.
Wow.
Then I got hired by Bill Pattison at Narrows High School.
Okay.
And worked with Coach Pattison. He was AD. And then Coach Bubby Fraley. And then Don Lowe, who was for years Steve Ragsdale's line coach at Giles.
Okay.
So I got that indoctrination into the single wing. And then John Wheeler at Alta Vista. Then I went to Rustburg. That didn't go well at first stint at Alta Vista. And then got a call from Mike Sharness at Rustburg High School.
Mike Sharn, punter at Virginia Tech.
Yep. He was safety.
Safety. Yeah, safety.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He was starting safety. He intercepted Jim Kelly in that Peach Bowl.
Yes. Yes.
And I was with Sharness for 17 years, and we won 3 state titles at Alta Vista.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. You coached with Coach, you said you were there when Coach Bill D was there?
Yeah, at Southampton, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a legend, man.
Billy.
Now, at that point in time, though, I thought I knew more than I actually did, and my responsibilities.
Welcome to our world.
Yes. My responsibilities were putting chin straps back together or getting tape and things of that sort. So,
Coach Mayberry, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you this. I love asking coaches this, man, because players, we talk about it even now in the group chat. I know you had it. What's a game when you think back to this day that you wish, not so much you could have done differently, but whether it was a championship game or a rivalry game that you just wish you guys could have back, like a game that still haunts you right now?
1989.
Oh, he goes right to it.
Giles High, and you were there you were at Tech for 4 or 5 years, so you know Giles County fairly well. Giles Narrows rivalry is unbelievable.
No.
Mm-hmm.
For no more people than what actually live in the county, it is it's hard.
I know that.
And we were single A and Giles was double A, and we played, and we were the only team in the state of Virginia to play that night in the middle of a hurricane.
Whoa.
I mean, Lightning, Thunder. We played for 3 quarters. And they had a running back named Sean Eves, who was a stud buzzard. And it was defensive struggle, 0-0. So we ended up finally, the officials stopped the game in the middle of the third quarter. And that was the 3rd game of the year. We go on, we win our district championship. We're rated number 1 in the region. Giles goes on, and I'm not for sure how they finished. They were still in the New River at the time. And but to get into the playoffs, Giles had to finish that game with us. And what happened to VHSL, and I was trying to praise the VHSL earlier. This is one of those decisions where I wasn't real crazy. We weren't real crazy about it, but we had just won our district championship game against Fort Chiswell on a Friday. We knew we had to play we were going to play Covington in the first round of the playoffs. And then we'd already set the game for that following Friday. Well, the VHSL calls us on Saturday and says, you've got to finish the game with Giles. So we played a game on Friday. We have to come on Monday and go back to Parisburg and play Giles again.
Jesus.
And so they don't charge anybody. They start the game at 5:30. And I'm going to just guess that there were probably 9,000 people to see that. Anyway, long story short, we drive a length of the field, get ready to go in and score, fumble the ball.
Oh,
they get it, throw in that single wing, reverse pass, throwback, big play, go down and score. We got 1:42 with no timeouts left. We go in our spread look. At the time, it wasn't spread, but it was, as people joke with us, they say we had the quarterback in punt formation, but
damn rags down.
And we go the length of the field. Quarterback throws the ball in the air, 4, 3. The cameraman went to the clock, back.
Oh, God.
The ball's in the air. You can hear the horn going off as the ball's in the air. Our tight end, Jeff Stewart, catches it in the back of the end zone, back corner of the end zone. We score, which with the extra point would have tied the game. Well, we're celebrating on the field. Giles drops her head, and all of a sudden the officials wave, game over.
Oh, no.
Giles wins.
Oh, no.
And Jeff Williams was coaching at Giles.
Wow.
Oh,
Jeff and I,
Wow.
we went tooth and nail about this. He said, well, y'all were in motion on the last play. I said, where was the damn flag? I said, there was no flag. There was nothing called.
Wow.
I said, we scored. And so that was on a Monday. We were like, and it took the wind out of our sails. So we had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then played Covington. That first round game, Covington was undefeated. They beat us 15-13 on a blocked punt that they returned, a blocked field goal that they returned 78 yards. And the one mistake we made, they ran option. Outside backer stepped inside on the option. Andy Carroll from Covington went 65 yards for a touchdown. We held them to 1 first down and 88 total yards in the game and lost 15-13.
Yeah.
So that Giles game, and we felt like we had a shot at the state title that year.
Did that answer your question, Dwight?
Yeah, man. But I'm listening to Coach talk.
That's
I wasn't
amazing.
there, but I'm a visual. I started seeing all this happen, and I just ask those questions anytime I'm around. Anytime I'm around any coaches, I always ask that question because you remember the games you lost more than the games you won. My son went to back-to-back state championship games.
It's true.
And had a great career, but you still remember. I mean, I always in high school lost to eventual state championship. One year was Iverson, one year was Norcom, in both football and basketball. And you remember it, man. Like I still remember it. And you just, especially when it's a close. I lost the game on the 1 yard line, and then at Tech, I remember losing. We lost. We were 14th in the nation my senior year at Tech. We were 14th in the nation. Temple had lost over 40 straight Big East games, and we were favored by 21 points. We were up 17-0. They just caught lightning in a bottle, and we lost 20 something. I don't know. It was ESPN called it the worst top 5 worst upset in college football history. And what made it worse is we lost on the 2 yard line, and
Dwight,
everybody won. That everybody that was ranked ahead of us, Morris, everybody ranked ahead of us. Like 6 teams lost ahead of us.
Dwight, was that in 1999?
That was
at the Vet Stadium.
No, that was that they won. I went to that game. Mike and them won 62-0 the following year. That game was 1998. We lost to them, and it was. I remember there's a picture. I still have it. There's a picture of me and the Clemson transfer running back Lamont Pegues. I'm sitting on the bench. It was homecoming. I'm sitting on the bench, and I remember the cameraman taking a picture of me. Both teams going to the locker. Beam is in there addressing the team. I was so hurt, I could not move. I was distraught because it's my senior year. And matter of fact, that year in 1998, we finished the season ranked 18th, but we lost to Temple. We gave up a 17-point lead. We lost to Syracuse. McNabb, the throwback pass.
The throwback.
We were up 21-3, and we lost to UVA 29. We were up 29-7.
Hey Dwight. I can't handle these losses. I gotta go to Denny. Let's go to baseball.
Yeah, let's talk baseball. Man.
I want to talk about my favorite love is baseball. So when did you play at Radford?
91 to 94.
First base?
Hall of Famer, by the way.
Cool. You get in the big leagues or semi-pro?
Played a little bit in the minors, and then ended up having a little bit of a hip issue.
I love baseball. If I wasn't hit in the head twice in the same day, I'd have still been playing.
Actually,
That's what happened.
Yes, I'm telling. No, it happened. Seriously, I'm sitting there batting practice. The line drive hits the ground. Bang, side of the head. Okay, I'm out for the first game. It's a doubleheader. Next game, I'm going up against this guy throwing 80 and a high school kid. He's an 8th grader. They give me the bunt sign. I close my eyes, stick the bat out, hit the ball, run to the first base. Catcher hits me in the back of the head. True story. I kept on running. I said, this game,
That's what happened.
That's it.
I love baseball is my favorite sport.
I actually started out playing football at Kansas before I got to Radford.
Really?
Yeah, I was there when I was coach. Was Glenn Mason?
Yeah, at Kansas. Oh yeah. He was a captain of Ohio State football.
Mm-hmm.
Or would he?
He was also a Jersey guy too.
Yeah. What positions did you play?
Middle backer.
Wow. They had some good teams.
Yeah. My last injury there was Gilbert Brown rolling up my ankle on a live no contact drill.
Oh wow!
So I was everything was full speed live with or without gear on.
Were you playing baseball at Kansas too?
I had an agreement that I could play baseball for the Jayhawks beginning of my sophomore year. I was only looking at schools that
I do both.
Scholarship and play baseball. I also I had a visit to Syracuse, and I
They
said,
didn't
"Where's
have
the
baseball.
Wait a minute, this is a good story." I said to them, like my father goes, "Well, where's the baseball office?" And the guy goes, "Oh, they get here in April." April?
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah." He goes, the Sky Chiefs.
Yeah,
said,
Sky Chiefs. It's semi-pro.
I said, "Dad, that's the AAA team for the Blue Jays."
Yes.
And the coach goes, I don't know if it was Pasqualoni or somebody else. I can't remember which coach it was. And I looked at him and I said, "You just don't try out for the AAA team for the Blue Jays?"
Oh, Jesus. That's hilarious. Well, where's your hometown? Where are you from?
Long Branch, Sam Mills' town.
Oh, wow. Wow. Cool. What a great story. I love it.
It's awesome.
And you know what? A quick story. Chuck Hartman, baseball
Oh,
coach at
love
Virginia
Coach
Tech.
Hartman.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Coach
don't know if you have a
Hartman.
new Chuck.
Him and
Great
Coach
guy.
Dykes are good friends.
Oh, great guy. I'm coaching at Virginia Tech in 85. And I go to Delaware. My buddy and Coach Dooley, I would go on my own. I would just go up on my own, go to Delaware because my buddy was the head coach at Salesianum High, a great high school program in Delaware.
Yeah,
and he knew where all the players were. So I would go up there in late November and hey, George, where are they? He goes, "There's a kid at Newark, Delaware, you need to see."
Newark. They
Newark.
want to be called Newark. And not
Yeah,
Newark, not I'm in Jersey.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 210 pounds, playing football. So we're standing out in the middle of the rain watching this playoff game, and it plays defensive end, kind of like a receiver, tight end type, and good athlete. So I went, Jesus. So I go over to the high school the next day. I can't remember the coach's name, but great guy. He goes, "Phil," he goes, "he is a great baseball player, but he likes football. He really likes football." I go, "Well, I'm going to offer. I'm going to go down and see Coach Dooley, who's the athletic director, and our head baseball coach, Chuck Hartman. And since Coach Dooley's the AD, I said, we're going to work this out where he could do both." His name was Derek May, Lee May's kid.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we got Chuck Hartman. We fly up. We get up there. We get to Newark. We get in this guidance counselor's room. The heat is on. It's hot as shit. It's a winter time. Sweating our ass off. And old Chuck, that old salesman, came out and he did a great job. And so finally I told Chuck, I said, "Chuck, here's the game plan for the kid to get this kid." Because really, no one's really offered him at the time. But after we offered, Penn State, Notre Dame, everyone's coming in on the kid. And I said, "Chuck, here's the deal." I told Coach Dooley, I said, "Coach, this is win-win for Virginia Tech. Let's bring the kid in here, put him on a football scholarship, and give him and let him play football and put him at flanker as the Z receiver. Soon as football over with, no weight room, goes right to baseball. At the end of the year, he can make his mind up because this kid is the real deal." I said, "It's all good for Virginia Tech." Chuck, So Coach Dooley agreed. Not a problem. We'll put him on a football scholarship for baseball. So we get it all settled out. The kid's committed to Virginia Tech. He's coming to Virginia Tech. But the dad goes, "Coach, if he's in the first round, we're going to pro baseball." I said, "Look, I got it. I'm good with it." That son of a bitch. He was like non-pitchers, like the 8th player taken in the draft. I lost him to the Cubs for a couple of million.
Was John Burke ever at Tech when you were there?
Yeah, tight end.
Yeah.
Yes.
He goes to my gym.
Really?
I'm walking around the gym one day, and he goes, "Did you go to Radford?" And I go, "You're John Burke." And he goes, "How'd you?" I said, "I remember you from Homedale High School." I said, "He went to Virginia Tech," and he was like kind of stunned. I knew his whole resume.
Oh, great! He's a hell of a player.
Hell of a
He was
player.
he was a hell of a high school athlete. He was there. I think he played. I want to say he played football, basketball, and baseball.
I could see that. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He was a great athlete, good player, hell of a tight end.
Yeah.
Did he play in the league for a couple of years?
A few years.
Yeah, I think he signed with the
thought he
Patriots.
did.
The Patriots.
Dwight
Patriots.
The
He was
Patriots.
a blocking tight end.
Yeah, he had a few years in the Patriots because him and Pine left when I came in.
Yeah.
But Beamer would have them come back and talk to us. And when he walked in, man, he looked like a transformer, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Dwight.
was
Dwight,
walking
you'll appreciate this. I'm listening to Greg Roberts' show last night. Guess who he has on? Jim Pine.
Listen,
Okay.
the GOAT.
Oh, yeah. Never
The
gave
goat-
up a
listen,
sack or some shit.
man,
But here's the thing.
Jesus.
Here's what's really cool. So I'm listening to the whole show last night, and he was the guy that founded this Wheels Up, program.
Airplane company. Yep.
Yes,
Sure did.
flying everybody and
I texted
anybody
him the other
all
day.
wherever they
He's
wanted to
got
go.
this great company.
Right,
Yeah.
Morris? Well, this is his company. He was drafted by Tampa Bay. He's living there. His son is a hell of a quarterback.
Really?
Yes. So, I'm listening to all this. So so Greg says, hey, how can we, we have a lot of business people in Roanoke. What can we? He goes, well, I'll give you my cell number. I went, oh shit. So I write the cell number down and I text him. I text Jim. I said, Jim, this is Phil Almation. I listened to the Roberts show. And let me tell you, you were a big part of that turnaround and your leadership, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
And,
ground level. Ground
yeah,
level.
no doubt. I said, anything I could do to help you with your son, not that whatever. And he got right back in touch with me. Text me right away. And so we're texting back and forth. So I text Todd Grantham. I said, Todd, is this kid the real deal? He goes, oh, hell yeah. When I was at Oklahoma, he goes,
Oh, hell
hey,
yeah.
Dwight, he goes, when I was at Oklahoma State, we offered him as a sophomore. I said, really? So here's one thing I hope you'll appreciate, Dwight. When I used to go into homes, and I was telling Janet, when I went into homes, I was good. Let me tell you what, I did not a lot of good things in my life. When I went into a home, I was damn
You
good.
were good.
You know why? I was a truth teller. And the one thing so I text Jim, I said, Jim, let me give you 2 questions that I think you and your son should have an answer to. Not that it's the reason, but it's a question. It's a decision. It's going to stimulate your mind. I go, I used to go into homes, Dwight, and I would say, hey, if this school didn't have football, would you go there? That's number one.
Yep.
Number one. Think about that, Dwight. Think about it. Because you're talking 40
Fair
years
question.
the rest of your life. Okay? Because football can be taken away from you.
You're right.
Period.
Right.
Now you got the portal now, which is a cop out. And then the next question I would ask him, I would say, look, the 2 things you want to be able to answer: who are you, and what the hell do you want? And that's what I'm talking about. And he texted me back. He said, thank you.
Hey, man, Jim Pine, good Lord, man. There was a stretch, man. You talking about Jim Pine, Bill Connolly, and all those guys, then Todd Washington, and then right after Todd, you had Jake Grove. Think about all those centers I named. Jim Pine, he was a legend. First of all, there's a guy that was on scout team. I still talk to this guy's name was Dibbs. He was never going to play at Tech, but he was on the scout team. You know, it's funny too. The older you go back, a lot of guys took pride in being on a scout team. They just were okay with it at a program like Tech or whatever program, right? And Pine was not in the mood. I wasn't there, but all the guys, T.J. Washington, Mike Manchin, Chris Malone, they were all there. They told me the story. Jim Pine warned him. He had a real deep voice. He said, I'm going to tell you again, stop coming hard. And the guy kept coming. Jim Pine takes his hand with his gloves, grabs his face mask, and rips the entire face mask off his helmet. You understand? Listen.
Hell.
Y'all all know sports. You understand how strong you have to be to do that?
You know, his granddaddy played in the NFL. He was one of the first.
That's true.
Of 3 generations that played in the NFL. One of the first. But I was like, it was really kind of cool for me because I'm just like, okay. I just text him out of the blue. And next thing you know, he's texting me right back. I mean, right back. And really appreciative. I just said, Coach, I said, Jim, good luck. If anything I could do, let me know. I said, Todd Grantham is probably the best person under the NIL portal, all the bullshit that's going on in college football. There's nobody better. When I was coach, I texted him. I said, he was my truth teller at Virginia Tech. And I love Bud to death. Love him. But Todd Grantham was my truth teller. That whenever Todd would look at me and either shake his head like this or give me one of these. And when he gave me one of these, we're doing it.
Yeah, man. Grantham, man. Coach Grantham I didn't play for him. I went against his group all the time. He was great. He's been everywhere, man.
You think what he hit?
Not 18, maybe 16, 18. Coach will do this. He had to correct him before. Dwight, he had to correct him. No, it's not 16 places I've been at. I've been at 18.
18. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well,
Grant's really been there too.
It's hilarious.
The best thing about Todd, what he did with Jeff Holland and Bernard Basham.
Yep.
I mean, Waverly was a really good talent that ended up playing in the NFL offensive line.
Yep.
JC was a talented young man. But let me tell you, Jeff Holland, we're going to run him off, Dwight. We want him going to offense. He's like 5'1" in the 40, smart kid, Western Branch, good kid. The spring before you got there, we had 100 play scrimmage. He took 100 snaps.
Good Lord.
No, fact.
Goodness.
Not 99, not 98. Because we had all these, JC couldn't practice. But we had all these guys hurt. We had 120, whatever play scrimmage. He took 100 snaps, and we kept him in there for all 100 because we want him to run. We want him to go to offense. We're going to run his ass off. So Todd and I go in there Sunday watching the film going, Jesus, we're watching 100 snap. It's as good as the first one. We said, all right, we got a guy.
He was instrumental in you know this, Coach. He was instrumental in the block field goal that Banks returned against Indiana.
Oh,
in the Bowl.
How about when he returned the touchdown
in the Independence Bowl?
Yeah, we beat him in '93.
Yep.
Thank God he only had to run 20 yards. But but he was a great player for us. And then Bernard Basham, I get to Virginia Tech, and they said, Coach Beamer doesn't like this kid for whatever reasons. I don't know. They're going to have a team walk out on the kid. So he was a defensive end. So I said, oh no, you're going inside. So we moved his ass inside. And Todd did it. He did a great job with these kids. Let me tell you, when we lost to West Virginia by a point or two, and they were undefeated. We lose to Miami 21-2. We couldn't buy a first down. And then we lost to who else? We lost to Boston College, which is my worst game plan I ever had in my life. I told Coach Beamer after the second. Yeah, I told Frank, I go, Frank, I got a bad game plan, and they're not executing it worth a shit. I called the rest of my game like this. Put my head down. I said, you want to fire my ass? I got no. And then the next week we had to play Syracuse. We were supposed to get a bowl bid that game. So we lose the damn game. I am so livid. I fired about 3 or 4 people, started Torian Gray, whatever. We ended up having Syracuse 21-0 in the first quarter, beating their ass. But oh Jesus.
40 was it 45-21, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. It was
Yeah. I wasn't there yet, but I was following.
No, you weren't. Well, we got back from Boston College.
Thank God you weren't there yet.
we get into Blacksburg about 11 o'clock, whatever. So I have a defensive team meeting, and I go, I will get this shit straight. We're going to get this straight. And we ended up beating Syracuse and Virginia and going to the bowl. So it was awesome.
Yeah, man. Y'all, it's great times, man. I told Rick one time I was doing my segment, I said, the one downfall of NIL, I think, is not NIL, but the portal is, the memories you guys talk about, whether it was baseball, with Danny and playing at Radford and knowing Burke. My son is a hooper. He's playing D1 basketball. He knows a lot of guys from AAU, shoe circuit. But the movement, like when you talk about we did this, we did that, the brotherhood and camaraderie, there's so much movement.
Right.
It's
not
really,
there anymore.
The memories, and then you compound that with the fact that a lot of these programs, the continuity, you're not winning and you don't have any chemistry. I think, what some of these coaches are able to do in baseball, basketball, whatever sport, football, I think it's pretty cool if you can win in this era, because you literally have to hit the reset button every year like a JUCO coach. You have to literally get your whole group together. Like Coach Almo, he had Banks, Torian, Gray, William, Yarborough, and all those guys. And then even when he left and moved on, Bud had those guys. And then you have the recruits that came in, Lauren Johnson, Pearson, Prelo, and those guys. You can really build something where, you look at the guy that just won the first round. He from LSU, he was a Tech guy. He was at Tech for a few years. And then he went to LSU and went in the first round. And it's crazy.
You know what, though, Dwight? Here's my problem with all that. I get it, the money in LSU go to the first round. Well, you've been the first round of Virginia Tech too. The school doesn't matter. It don't matter where you're playing for. If you're a first round talent, they're gonna find your ass. You know that.
Yep.
I mean, I don't care if you play at Wake, at William and Mary. If you're a first round talent, the NFL will find you. So that's my problem with him leaving. And what did he do at LSU? Did they win? No. Guess what happened? The coach got fired. I have a problem with that. Sorry.
No, you good. This is
I really do. I am so livid at that. Oh, I'm in Virginia. Well, I think I'll transfer to LSU. Why? Well, I think they'll win. Well, guess what? They lost and the coach got fired. Well, Jim Pry got fired too. Well, maybe you stayed at Virginia Tech. It would have helped the program.
Could have. Hey, Coach Elmo, I have to tell you this. This is a story about Lou Holtz. And probably 15, 20 years ago, I'm in banking. I've done all my business in banking and insurance. But I caught on to Lou Holtz and Zig Ziglar, and they were big buddies.
Oh, how about that?
And
yeah, I'm a Zig
Ziglar. He's almost my second father.
Yes.
I've had dinner with him and the redhead and the wife.
Wow.
All that. But
you met him?
Loved Coach Holtz. Coach Holtz, and he had a saying, and I used to tell all the banking people whenever I would go in. I said, life's not complicated. You have to do three things. You have to do the right thing, and you always have that choice. Number two, everybody can't be an All-American, but you can do the best you can do.
Yeah.
And number three, show people you care.
Yeah.
Lou Holtz had those three sayings that he lived his whole life with from that Catholic school he started in, and I love the guy.
Oh, no.
What an amazing person.
Playing and coaching with him, those what you mentioned and talked about, trust, caring, commitment, that stayed with him forever. I always said this. Lou was the very first guy. When I got to Virginia Tech in 93, the first thing I put up on that blackboard with that defensive team meeting after 3 wins was win, W-I-N, what's important now.
Mm.
And that was Lou. That I got that from Lou. I don't know wherever Lou got it from, got no clue. All I know is when I was playing for him, that impacted me as much as anything else in my playing days that carry over into my football play days of coaching. Of when you talk about winning, it's a context of what's important now.
Hey, Coach,
here, that was Lou.
Yeah, I'll just add too, man, just as somebody that's just a little bit younger than you, but I look at that to add to your point. I also think that's what's missing now, and I'm not hating on it, but I think what you're describing is legacy, right? You talk about how
100%.
Danny's a Hall of Famer. You, to me, in my opinion, you're a Hall of Fame coach. Every program you went to, I mean, when Coach Mike Smith talked about you when you left Hampton that day, I was in high school. He talked about how great you were. You talk about Coach Mabry right here. Like, legacy, I think, when I talk to young guys now and young ladies, I don't know if it's the social media. I don't know if it's the money. It may be accumulation of things, but I do feel like the one thing these guys don't think about is their legacy. When they post something and they get mad and they say, oh, these coaches, they don't know what they're doing, or their parents get on social media, or they go to the AD and they say, if you don't fire this coach, we're leaving. I like the fact that I came to Tech ranked 4th in the nation in my position, and I had to earn everything. And I was part of the guys where we won conference championships. I played then 30 years ago, but when I come back to Southwest Virginia, and when I go back home to Hampton Roads, people still buy me a drink and they remember this. We reminisce and they talk about, so like at the end of the day, I was part of something that was bigger than myself. That's the legacy. That's the legacy, I think, like what's missing now. Like even with a great program, not a great program, a great coach like Signetti, Indiana was part of something big. They'll be remembered forever, that winning that national championship. But those guys most of those guys are JMU guys, right?
No doubt.
Yeah, so what's their, like they won a national championship, but what's their legacy? What's the narrative? What's the story we're going to say 20 years from now, right? We'll remember the championship, but they won't say, oh, yeah, my freshman year at Indiana. And you know what? It is what it is. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I love the fact that the era I was part of, and even the one before me, like JC and those guys, Cornell Brown, Lou Holtz, you mentioned Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz said Cornell Brown in 1993 was the best linebacker before he got to Virginia Tech in 92. He was the best linebacker in the country.
Yep.
And Cornell Brown went to Tech after they were 2-8-1. He comes to Tech, him and Antonio Banks start as a freshman, true freshman. Yep. They go 9-3 and win the Independence Bowl. What does that do for me? A guy that's a year behind them, I see Lawrence Lewis. I see them. I want to be part of that legacy.
Yep.
No
doubt.
You know what I'm saying? That's legacy.
That's the key to the drill. I mean, it's all about, when it's all said and done, with guys like Cornell, it's really interesting. My 4 years at Virginia Tech, 85, 86, 93, 94, there's 3 players that in my mind, it will never leave my thoughts and appreciation for who they were. I get to Virginia Tech in 85, the defensive secondary is decimated. They lost all their really great players, Ashley Lee, blah, blah, blah. I get there, and there's a kid named Eric Hayes from Suffolk, Virginia, 1985, a walk-on. And I went into Coach Dooley. I said, because I've always believed my role as a coach is to give the head coach the best information of who gives us the best chance to win a game. That's all. That's my obligation to the head football coach and the football team. So I said, Coach, he's our best corner that we have, one of the 2 that can give our best chance to win a game. And we ended up winning 6 games with him. He was a biochemistry major. Wow. At Virginia Tech. Okay. Now, you Tech people can really appreciate that. This kid was brilliant. And he ended up starting for us. We won 6 games with him. And so, then the next year we go. But then when I get to Tech back in 93, there's 2 players that were walk-ons that we ended up scholarshiping. The same thing, that just smart guys, and these guys, Dwight, Scott Jones and William Yarborough.
William Yarborough.
Scott Jones, he was a 5th-year senior walk-on. And here's the issue with the portal today I have a problem with. Not that these kids were going in the portal, they were walk-ons. But these kids stuck it out. And I don't know, I really don't know what they're doing today, but I can guarantee you this. If they've got families, they're raising great families. If they've got a job, they're the best employee in the job. If they're in charge of a company, that company's doing well. Because what they did and how they perceived themselves under those circumstances to succeed in this crazy world of football was beyond, I'm telling you, those 3 guys are my 3 favorite Virginia Tech football players.
Wow.
Truly. Because where they came from, they were walk-ons. Nobody wanted them. Nobody. And they ended up being the best we had. They were the best.
You know what? That's actually a good question, Rick. And maybe when you have your show this coming week, you can, Al Mason talked about walk-ons, during my time and during the late 90s and the 90s in general. Virginia Tech mimicked Nebraska's program with the walk-on program. Virginia Tech had a tremendous run with walk-ons. Yeah. With John Engelberger and Steve Tate, so many guys.
15-year period,
yeah, like they had so many. Kerwin Harrison, so like, do college coaches now? You don't hear walk-on? There's
no such thing anymore, Dwight. Yeah. Walk-ons are over. Got 105 scholarships. Done away with it. But here's one thing about Coach Beamer. Listen, I'm going to let you guys go. But here's one thing I'm going to say about Frank. I don't give a crap. These people have his best thing about his legacy. Dwight, think about all the brothers that played at Virginia Tech. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a program in this country that has had many siblings play for a program like Virginia Tech. Edmonds, you can list them all. And to me, the greatest compliment for Frank Beamer is that. You know why? Brothers are going to tell brothers, don't come here. This place ain't worth a shit. And they'll tell them that.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you one other question, Elmo. Which head coach has ever had the balls to put his best players on special teams? And Beamer had those balls.
Frank Beamer and Barry Alvarez. My whole start and secondary, here's the deal. When you talk about special teams, the 2 most important are your kickoff and your punt cover. Your cover teams are the most important. And you better have your best defensive players on both those teams. And Frank did. The return teams, he had Brandon Simonis on the return teams. Okay. and I love when I got to Virginia Tech, I asked Bud, I go, Bud, what we signed this kid for? He goes, he's Frank's nephew. I go, we'll give that some bitch a raise.
Hey, listen, guys, I got to go. Right. Dwight, Elmo, Coach Mabry, and Denny, we're going to see you all at the bench.
Oh, yeah.
We'd love to have Dwight there. That's a long drive for Dwight.
When is that? What is that?
At the NRV Super Bowl, man, we're going to have like a BDST get-together on the 18th of July on a Saturday.
I'll be I'll be in
Hey,
Charlotte.
I gotta
Yeah,
go.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we got to
I
get
gotta
out.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice meeting everybody. Denny, pleasure. Love
Okay.
baseball. Morris, you're the best. Coach, we got to get together, baby.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you tomorrow, Coach Elmo.
Hey,
tomorrow
you
morning.
got to help me defend the wing tee.
Coach Elmo, I look forward to shaking your hand at the bash.
Oh, look forward to it. Dwight, God bless you.
Yes, sir. God bless
What
you.
Take
you
care,
do,
guys.
the service you do is phenomenal. And what you
100%.
do for Virginia Tech is the best because you're a truth teller.
Yep.
Thank you.
bless
Thank you.
100%. 100%. Coach, I'll see you in the morning, brother.
Oh, we're doing this again?
Yeah, you got to come back tomorrow morning.
Hey, I don't know if I can make it. I'm playing golf at Space Coast.
Oh,
Country
here
Club.
we go.
Nice.
Everybody's
Atta
going.
boy.
Yeah,
Rick,
good for you.
thank
Good for
you.
Whatever.
Appreciate it.
No,
God
thanks,
bless
Coach.
every one of you.
See you guys.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Yeah,
See you
thanks,
guys.
everybody. Dwight, great, man. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, thanks for stopping by after dinner, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Loved it, man. Loved it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Thank you, everybody. Take care, everybody. We will see you. We'll see you next time. See you in the morning, hopefully. So
Happy 4th.
happy 4th, Coach Baby. Appreciate you, man. Good
All
stuff.
right. Good night, guys.
All right, Denny. Be good, brother. We'll talk.
Bye-bye.
All right, Coach. Thank you, guys. All right, thanks, everybody. That was fun. A lot of fun. Thanks to everybody who stopped by. Everybody in chat. We had some contributors, some new people. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Finally, Friday edition, heading into our 4th of July celebration. United States of America, 250 years, baby. Nobody's done it better. Nobody ever will. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.